There we go. Now, no more talk about anything irrelevant. We're just going to talk about the way these teams are going to approach this best of three. I think a fantastic opportunity for Astralis to get a legend spot. Let's hone in on a couple of these matchups. Axile versus Blamef to kick things off. Blamef, who had an absolutely huge game yesterday versus Ents on Overpass Maniac.
Yes, he was flamboyant, honestly. And I think that's the Blamef effect. As soon as he plays against an opponent that's a little bit below his caliber, he's just going to take over because he takes a lot of space. Obviously here, versus players, it's going to be a different theme, a different terrain, different opponents, and I'm looking forward to seeing if players have something precisely ready for him.
I'm sure they will challenge him the same way Ents did. They're going to back the individuals to take these duels. And in Ents' case yesterday, they really didn't deliver. There maybe a couple of whiffs here and there, and Blame just takes maximum control out of these situations. He was locking down the approach towards the A side, the underpass area. He was just unplayable practically. And when you have a player like that, it's very difficult to do anything.
I mean, the consistency that comes from Blame is still mind-blowing to me. Like you can always argue that, yeah, listen, he's got the rolls and some of these kills are less impactful because he finishes round, and there's probably some truth to it, but you also have to respect the consistency of the input. Now, speaking of consistency, on the far left, Shiro is a man that has been establishing himself as one of the main and best AWPers we have in the game. Different story for Fardig. He came in here, stepping in for Lucky, who was really insufficient in his role, and that to me can be such a difference maker for Astralis, when you can finally have an AWP that actually holds his ground. But he's still on proving point, let's say.
Yeah, yesterday's performance was a promising sign. Finally, we saw something from an Astralis AWPer in the last year that showed signs of like greatness to some degree. Maybe he doesn't have to be the best player on the team, but he needs to do something more than Lucky, more than Yugi, and all of these players that try to pick up the big green. This, though, this is a kind of a worrying sign and a weird sign to see, considering Astralis are winning and Config is posting a 0.87 rating. I would say that he is the winning key factor for the team.
Isn't that a good sign? Because maybe then if they need him, he'll... What's the discussion here around Config?
You know what? I wish I had figured out the enigma of Config.
Okay.
I wish I could tell you. What I know is that he is the definition of a roller coaster. He's got games where he takes over and he's an absolute mastermind. He's got games where he disappears, events even.
So is it then fair to say that in this one specifically, where you can wager that they'll need all of them firing on all cylinders, this is a game where Config needs to be big?
I think that is on-point analysis right
well,
there. Like if Config isn't going to be at 1.0 at least player in this series, they're not going to win. That's just how it is. Ancient first pick, Dust2 reply. That's interesting that it wasn't banned out by Astralis, that they decided to ban Mirage, which could have been maybe a curveball in terms of preparation and how things are going to go.
That's what we were discussing in the group room. We said Mirage could actually be a very good pick for players if they allow it. That's a map they are quite accustomed to play. But Dust2 comes in. It's a map that Astralis has floated a little bit, haven't put a lot of work into. But they must have known that allowing Dust2 to go through would be a pick. If you're players, you're going to jump on that opportunity.
Yeah, and I feel like that is also a given. But looking at Astralis on Dust2, that was for me the map where they looked the most worrying, just like absolutely lost and no cohesion at all. So I see a 3-mapper potentially here.
A 3-mapper, I love it. Music to my ears. I hope to yours as well, Davey and Jackie.
Oh, the sound of music that we get to cast. An Ancient game, they're my favourite. A little bit of Dust2 sprinkled in there. And then an Inferno at the end, like the little, tiramisu after you have your big meal, Davey.
Yeah, and you know what? I agree with the big, tall, sexy Croatian man that I think we are going to be going to Inferno. I think it is going to go to a map 3.
I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we get. But I can tell you this, it's going to be a great series. 2 fantastic teams going head-to-head. And the fact that we get Ancient to start this up.
Yep.
I was hyped the second I saw it. My man Blame F towards Cave yesterday was a demon, Davey. He was unbelievable. Then you double that with the fact we get to see Config on T-side Ancient at some point.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's going to be spicy.
Yeah, and I mean, they would have gone into this veto, players, knowing that Astralis was going to pick Ancient, right? These teams, they pretty much know how these vetoes are going to go before they even get into the actual veto process. It's why when there's that big curveball, like what Navi did to Heroic, I forget what event it was way back when, but where Boomich goes, ban Nuke, and Cadian goes, Boomich, you ban Nuke! You have 15 game win streak on Nuke or something like that. And Boomish just walks away like a boss. Like, yeah, that's right. You didn't see that one coming, did you? Whenever that happens, it's actually quite surprising because these teams generally know how these vetoes are going to go.
Yeah, you can kind of scope it out and have a really good understanding. So, man, the fact that we're going into this with a fairly nice spread, you know, standard classic game at the end if we need it, if we go the full free mapper.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. And as you said, our main man on the desk, Prof, I think we're going to get all three.
Name a more iconic duo than Map 3 Inferno games in CS. Seriously,
I don't think you can.
Map 3 Inferno is like the thing because every team's okay playing it, so it always ends up coming down to Inferno at the end.
It does, it does. But we have to start at the beginning. Chapter 1 of our series here between players and Astralis. And of course, that will be Ancient.
P250 dropped over to Farleague and Config as well. So actually, Farleague's bought his own, and then he's dropped the extra nades over. They have 3 smokes here. Okay, so only 2 players with the armor, a ton of utility. So this is the set strat. Smoke comes out towards red. He is able to creep out past the bullets. Hobbit's not able to find anything. Glaive and Zip now, they each have a smoke of their own. Glaive with 2 flashes, and this fight is going to be the crucial one. They need to win it, and they want to push up towards red by the looks of it. That's Config. He's running forward. He has the P250. He has the armor, and he's in the lurk position now as the rest of his team pushes in through Nut.
Oh, Axile and Shiro, Hobbit as well. Everyone waking up on the player's side as they're punishing with the pistols. But Config, he is the terror of T-side Ancient. And it all comes down to him to punish with a P250. 1 versus 5. He's been spotted. Snaps onto the head. He's about to be dead, though. Only 3 HP. And Axile's walking up. He sees the shadow. Tried to line up the tag, but cannot do it. And players will take the pistol.
Astralis invested a ton of utility into that one for that split. But unfortunately for them, as soon as Hobbit gets pushed back off of middle, he turns and runs straight to the A site. He predicts the donut play, and then there's 3 players over there just waiting, holding. They land all their shots. Astralis can't scale into the site, and by the time Config's flank comes to fruition, his whole team's dead.
Just too little too late. The snaps from the USPs were really crisp from the Lanimals of players. And now Astralis, their response is to go fast into the second round. Running into caves, there's an MP9 holding it, now be enters. He backs up. And Famus is supporting him as well. HE going to be dashed in. A little bit of damage done onto Farleague.
Yeah, just the shrapnel to the calf, really.
Bounces off his thigh.
Hate it when that happens.
No, it's not ideal.
You can lose a leg doing that.
Yeah, and then you'd have to hop into the second round.
Nightmare. As it will be the nightmare for Astralis if they do decide to push through the cave. The MP9 just waiting there around the corner. But it actually is the bomb over towards A. So now what they want to do is they're all either going to group up towards middle and try to put pressure on the donut player, which will allow their teammate to get out sight with the bomb. What they don't know is there's 2 players in red, and one of them is Hobbit with an M4.
Hobbit's just head hunting here towards middle as well, and it's easy pickings for him.
Oh, he's going to get it.
Oh, blame F. If he actually gets the bomb plant down, he'll be happy with the funds, but the response from Axile will be agile as he runs into the site and denies the extra cash.
It was a good effort. On just the Glocks, you might as well just try to get that bomb down.
Well, it's best case scenario, you know, you make the extra money, you know the round's dead and gone, so whatever you can do to secure the bag, Davey.
Yeah, and from top middle, red like that, you know, when you're just shooting the Glocks as they swing out, Hobbit would have felt like he had the ring of power.
True. He did indeed. And luckily he didn't drop his massive contact lens so he could see them all. It'd be a very different movie, wouldn't it? If Sauron just couldn't see the whole time.
Imagine if he just had bad vision.
Yeah, what's
He's
happening?
like, why did they make me an eye? God damn it.
Has anybody got a monocle?
He just keeps trying to look around, but he just can't see anything. He's like, I'm really just, this is just an intimidation factor, really, because I'm actually quite useless.
Just have to hope they never question it.
Just imagining, oh my god.
It's Bucklejar.
Oh, what a good parody movie that could be.
It would be huge,
a parody
man.
Lord of the Rings movie.
There you go. If casting ever doesn't work out, we can just work on parodies.
We
of
could just
Lord
start
of the Rings.
writing the screenplay right now.
True. We'll do it in a downtime.
We know a couple producers.
Oh, we can get them on board.
Yeah.
Astralis, what can you produce into the third round? Down by 2 at the minute. But you finally got firepower to work with. The AK in the hands of Config going to be taken towards Donut as well. He finds the adjustment shot. That's a big opener, but he's running in through red. Hobbit's here. And he wants to spray a few bullets into him. Comes close though, Davey. Hobbit stays alive. 6 frag he's had into this game so far. And he peeks out with contact on middle as well.
How did he get away from that?
No idea.
The flash, I guess, working perfectly, as he was able to tuck away and escape towards the A bomb site. It is Glaive walking up, and does he expect the op from Shiro? Remember, he only had the P250 into the last round, and this is why Glaive does flick up and clear it, but Shiro's nearby. He's posted on main. That's where the bomb is coming in from. Nobody's cleared him. He's going to get one for free, but it's going to come down to the timing. There's the first, and Astralis is running out of time, as it is Shiro now just delaying, just staying alive. Bomb's not going to go down. It's it. Round done.
You don't have the time. It doesn't matter what you do. You're still going to be punished as well because this is Shiro's world. You're just living in it. He lurks in the back of Temple with the AWP, punishes onto the first, shuts down the second. And that's the round falling in favor of players once again. A bit of momentum towards middle. Config, after he hit that shot onto Axar, I was thinking maybe there's an opportunity for him. But Hobbit, just unbeatable in some of these rounds. Does not want to die, does he?
No, and it was actually the crouch from Hobbit that saved him. Ironically, making himself smaller even than before. As he crouches down, when Config flicks over, he hits the first 3 bullets, but the crouch walk across, he put the ring on, he disappeared, and the last few bullets just couldn't find him.
Have you ever thought
No.
that maybe, you know, like those cash for gold websites?
Okay.
Do you reckon they're just like a big scam where it's actually like dragons just trying to steal everyone's gold?
Big smog.
Yeah, that's what I mean, see?
Yeah, it's possible.
Who else is buying up all the gold?
I don't
It's
know.
just a front for like a dragon.
Or leprechauns.
True, could be. They're mass producing rainbows illegally. But where's the sunshine going to fall here into round 4? As Astralis don't really have the best bite to work with. You've got the 2 AKs, a couple of Deagles sprinkled in for good measure. One of them in the hands of Glaive. He's going to see the jump spot towards middle and does hit the head, so Hobbit goes down. And there's a rotate here. Shiro's going to be holding the angle with the AWP now.
And yeah, he's just posted up. He's waiting. The setup inside of Cave, this setup has become more and more common, so you're starting to see teams sort of jiggle it out, right? People don't just walk into this angle anymore. Because the setup is just becoming more and more common. Now, the thing for Astralis is they don't have a smoke, so they're just relying on walking up and finding these picks. And they're playing retake on A. So they are going to be here in the cave. Config spotted them both, so now they know, but can they get the kills? That's the question. And will this flank find anything? Nafany is still nearby. He does peek out with the FAMAS. Blame F finds the kill though, but Shiro answers. And again, they're running out of time. And that's it. It's done. Shiro peeks out, doesn't even wait, doesn't even need to time them out. He peeks out with the op, finds 2. And Astralis again, they're running out of time on these hits.
They are indeed. Shiro, the hero with the scope. He's able to pop off a few shots and leave them broke into the round. And players farming up the early lead on the CT side of Ancient. They've taken 4 on the spin, but of course there's now money to work with once again. So the investment comes out for the Danes. AWP on Farlig. He's yet to find much leeway to get into the game. Yesterday we saw him having a good bit of success on the map. Once he was able to flex his muscles a bit. Here though, Inters could actually be such a problem. He's playing close towards Cave. Trade of bullets between either side. He backs off, dashes out the smoke as well to buy a bit more time for them. He's looking to see where Farlig was taking this AWP as well. He had it back towards the B site early, but he's wrapping off, going towards middle.
That's the thing about T-side Ancient, man. It's so hard to find opening op picks. This flash is going to be good. Glaive's tucked, but he has the nade out. They swing. Config does trade back. Takes a bullet in the brain. Down to just 9 HP, but does get the trade. So it is the 4 versus 4. And now Config, he needs to throw the utility that Glaive was setting up for, but Players is reacting by pushing down B, and it is just Zip here. He has the MAC-10. Can he find the multi? Can he even find one? They do get spotted. Farlig misses. Zip is able to get it, and there is the trade from Farlig. He peeks out. He does land that op shot, and they are going to be going up into B, but Shiro's already rotated.
Shiro. He's the sniper with a hell of a scope, but can he make the adjustments to leave Astralis broke? No. Zip straight in. Rips him to pieces with the M4. And Hobbit, left in the 1v4, is unable to do anything here. Staying alive is the best case scenario for him. And he is being hunted. Config's walking up. Just 9 HP on him, so a single bullet will dispatch him. Just get a tag out, though.
Yeah, puts him down to 46. That's twice now Config's just like almost killed Hobbit. It's gonna start getting annoying pretty soon, I bet. Like, man, this guy just won't die. Shadow gives him away.
Yeah, it's rough, man. You got to be aware of where the sun is.
See, this is why I hate the sun.
Yeah, it's awful. It burns you. It makes you die in video games, and it's just kind of cringe.
Yeah, and it's like it's like too hot.
Yeah, I hate that.
You can't even, you can't look at it. Like, oh, what, you're so cool. Like, what, we can't even look at you. Shut up.
Quite arrogant, really, isn't it?
That's
the
what
sun?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, grow up.
Yeah, stop it. What a fool.
The ego is out of control.
No, it really is. Unbelievable scenes. But, finally a good response from Astralis. They needed to get around on the board, and they find their footing. It looks a bit dicey. When Farlig missed that shot, he's worried Zibex was actually going to fall, and then things could have got so bad for them. But he's fired up off the back of the SMG kill, goes running into the site, pieces it together, and they do get their first round on the T side.
I'm surprised after Farlig missed that shot that Inter's just like stayed there. Just
Yeah.
posted up with the M4. It's like, all right, no, I guess you can have the second one.
You want another pick?
Yeah,
Take
it felt wrong that you missed the first shot. You really should have killed one, so I'll just hang out here for you. Or maybe his S key broke.
Fell off.
Yeah,
Had to put that back on.
ratio.
Yeah. Well, 4-1. Early flashes towards middle from either side. Config, he's just going to run through. Wanted to go for something rapid on the SMG, but Hobbit, he hits that.
Hobbit just has Config's number right now.
He knows exactly how to counter it.
That's like that's definitely the third time he's killed him.
Yeah.
Maybe the fourth.
And it's scary as well, because obviously I was talking about it in the pregame, but Config on T-Side Nation, he's a different beast compared to most players.
Yeah.
So if you're able to isolate him time and time again, he's going to get frustrated, and Astralis are going to get quite annoyed by it. Glaive, though, he's been mean mugging at middle. That's his second pick now.
And Axile's pushed up, and he's heard this. He would have heard Glaive running away. He doesn't want to commit to the flank too early. Ooh, and for this reason, Glaive now, he's back. Oh, the timing. Axile, does he clear middle? Surely when he walks around the corner here, he's going to check to his left, and Glaive is going to go down. That is it. He's sad. He's lonely. He's dead. And now it is Nafany and Shiro inside of the cave. Counter Molotov is perfect. BlameF can't go through it. He can't waste that smoke either. They do need it to get out into the site. And by pretending to fall back now, they've repositioned and they've walked straight into Farlig. That's the op kill for him. They do have the crossfire in sight. Can Astralis find them? Can they land these shots?
Zip, hoping for the pick. Knows there's a player tucked in towards the back. That's the spam to force him to face. Shiro, he's dancing on a knife's edge. Enters, he'll swing around and say goodnight to Zip. There goes Farlig as well, so it's all on BlameF, the man with the big biceps, but he can't bite back as he's dead. And players, they get a 5th round on the CT side.
Ooh, look at the hype from him, eh? He
Yeah,
was coming
yeah.
in hot right there. Those fist bumps got dangerous, but broken knuckles could be coming out.
Take your wrist clean off.
So Astralis, you know, it seems like when Config goes down in middle, they sort of, I don't want to say get lost. That's not exactly it. But they play very slowly when Config's dead. And that's why they've put these rounds down to the point where they're almost timing themselves out. They actually did time themselves out in the one round towards A. And here, you know, just 15 seconds left. I think there was 20 seconds when the player died inside of the site there, and it's just like you're running it real low. Without the utility, those late round executes are really difficult. Because it's the utility that makes those late round executes work, because you molly out all the spots they could be in. The CTs hopefully have used all their utility by that point, right? That's sort of the idea.
Enters. Oh, he's fighting for cave control, and Zip. I mean, he gets the opening kill, but unfortunately it's onto the back of Config.
For the greater good.
Yeah. Denies the kill, grabs the gun, leaves him in a 4v4. Shiro watching towards the ramp. That's going to be the jump face, but no bullet to smash the face of the T's. So Astralis slow it down and start to dial it back a bit.
They are just grouping up. They do have some utility here. The 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs, the 1 flash. The spam onto Shiro. Zip just taking him right out through the wall. The smoke inside of Cave for Nafany does block off Farleague. He did get tagged once with the P250. He still has 80 HP though, as the double flank is coming. They're both walking towards the ramp. Blame F, he's going back with the op, and no, are they gonna clear him? They don't. Nafany finds Zip. He knows there's one in the smoke towards Long, and Hobbit wins out on Blame. It is just Glaive. He has the tech, he has the head armor. They don't know where he is, but they have an inkling. Now they know. Shots ring out. He finds the dink. He finds so much damage onto Hobbit and Nafany, but cannot get the kills. And it is going to be players picking up their 6th. That was just the half buy from Astralis, and they made it so close.
Dangerously tight round. From the way it started to how it finished, night and day difference. Rough round though, man. That was really clean. The spam, beautifully timed. Good pickup. But all in all, players, they're still making this huge buffer become a reality on their CT side. You've got 6 rounds now. You've still got the weapons to work with as well. Shiro, he's back on the orb. He's going to be waiting for the fight to come towards A main, this time stationed over there. A bit of a difference in the setup. And the T's, they're going out middle.
And remember, this is Astralis' map pick as well. There's another opening for Astralis. Blame F finds the first onto Inters. And Farleague gets the second onto Axile. So this is more like it for Astralis. They get mid control. They find the picks. Molotov to force Nafany forward. They would have heard the tag, and there's the pre-fire from Blame. That Molotov just giving away his position inside of the cave. And Hobbit, he needs to come up massive.
Hobbit has to hold the line and stop them from being able to get into the bomb site. Blame F, he's gone on the recovery mission all the way back to spawn. Throws the bomb on his back, rotates around. And Config, he's just sat inside of red. So if Shiro tries to wrap over to support his teammate, he could take a bullet to the back. And the whole thing could fall just on Hobbit. Will they clear him out? That's the big question. They've got their eyes honed in on it. They're just going to be waiting to see if he overextends. But they do flick off. Oh, timing's going to be absolutely everything here. Zip's a little bit paranoid about it, and he's going to hold the angle. There we go. That's the frag now found. And obviously Config holding towards mid. He's just got to secure this one onto Shiro. Won't get it, but it's surely just going to be the save.
Ooh, he's coming back for more. So the thing is, everyone in the server right now thinks Shiro's going to save, right? Everyone. Astralis does. They're already hunting through T-spawn. He's playing close CT. Part of me wants to believe he's going to go for this late, and there's a kit down somewhere in sight that's been calmed to him, and he's going to go for it. But I don't think that's the case. I think he just believes this is the best spot to save because he thinks they're going to be hunting him over towards A. But Astralis doesn't have the money to hunt regardless. They don't want to overcommit. They don't want to drop these guns. And now, Astralis, they get their second, but also crucially, because of all the kills they've been getting in the previous rounds, players doesn't have the money to buy. You're going to get a gun out on Nafany and Axile. Shiro's going to have to drop one over to Inters or Hobbit, but somebody is going to be low weaponry, low utility, whatever. That's just unlucky, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really disgusting from his POV. You would be fuming if that happened to you on Cave.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Blame F, though, he is the king of Cave sometimes.
True.
All right, round 9. 6-2 to work with. Looked like players did want to go for the aggression outside of Cave with a 2-man setup, but the flashes will hold them at bay early, and the smoke is down as well. So instead, they're just going to play together on the crossfire with the MP9 playing anti-flash.
And this is just going to be the full execute from Astralis as well. There is 2 players here inside of the cave, though, so they're not going to be close enough to help Nafany. He's here by himself. Flash hasn't come in. Nafany plays anti, expecting it, but there is no flash, and Config spams back onto Inters. This bomb is going to go down. And you could see there, Nafany, he was tucked in the corner. He was playing anti-flash, but there was no flash coming from Astralis. They just ran at him.
Ooh, Config goes walking past Hobbit. He's able to get one shot off, but he's fumbling with the guns. And he gets gatted down by Blame F. So Shiro and Axile, the last 2, all the way over towards the A site, forced to just save this. So this will be a 3rd round for Astralis with just the 1 casualty on Config.
And it was a good call by Astralis as well. I'm assuming they predicted the double cave play from players. And so the response is, all right, well, we'll just execute up B, smoke off cave, and rush long because we believe you guys are going to be playing double cave. And that's exactly what they did. And Astralis pick up their third. They've now broken the money from players, so this should be, should be the fourth for Astralis on the T side. Remember, this was their map pick. And now Shiro needs to find a way to have impact with the op because Astralis just isn't going A. They're just like, all right, fine. Like you're gonna just put your op in temple the whole round. We're just not gonna go A then.
Also, I just saw the little glimpse of the update from the A stream there, or the B stream even. It was a 16-6 victory over Team Spirit for Sinners.
Wow.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Look at that. Ooh.
Damn, 16-6.
Yeah, yikes. I wonder what happened in that game.
I'll find out.
As that is a pretty one-sided affair. Not exactly what you'd expect.
Zedco and Neofrag just popping off 26 and 23 kills apiece.
Yikes.
On nuke.
Well, that's how things go for Team Spirit. But we're back in the action now into the 10th round. Shiro's got the AWP out. The rest of his team, of course, just trying to play around that with the pistols. Two-player setup inside of the donut. One of them's been a Tech 9, the other's the AWP. And Astralis running more of a default.
And they just want to try to figure out where the op is exactly, right? That's sort of the idea. You don't want to run into the saved op. It is inside of Donut, and they are stacking 4 over towards the A site, like you said. So they're just committing to holding this. And if Astralis goes B, they're like, all right, that's fine. Oh, but is Farley just going to walk right into this angle for Shiro? He's waiting for him, and he is. That's a free kill, but one man has made it across. That's Config. He's used that timing to get across into red, and it's working perfectly. Shiro's now adjusting. He's rotating over, but he's not going to expect Config to be here. He thought he had the line, and this is going to be the free kill for Config.
Config, with a clothesline play, slams into the face of Shiro. And now you can execute from all angles, explode out onto the B site, get the bomb down, and find where the CTs are lurking. A recovery mission could be in play to see if the AWP can still be grabbed. Axel stays alive as well, and Inters will find the AWP at middle. Now you just need to get out of there. Stay alive, keep them in the game, bring those into the next round, because this is going to be an Astralis pickup.
And if Hobbit can actually pick up this other op towards CT, there's nobody looking at it right now. He's able to grab it. That's a double op being saved here. Never mind, he throws it away.
Oh, he's going to cycle both of the guns, so he does actually take the AK with him as well.
I think he's going to throw the op away and try to just save the AK. Players, they don't really double op a whole lot. I think sometimes I've seen Axile with it, but that's about it. They're not huge on the double ops. So I think it's more likely he just throws this op away now. Yeah, he just goes for the AK instead.
Force Astralis to have to buy another one if Farlig wants to bring it out.
Which he does.
All right. Business as usual then, 6-4. 2 rounds of difference. Not an awful T side from Astralis. With some of the picks they're finding as well, and they've actually got weapons, they could have a little bit more momentum. But we're back into the game, round 11.
Lots of utility going out in mid. Ooh, Farley, he runs straight up for that pick in cave. There's nobody there to find just yet. He's jiggle peeking it. If Farley gets the timing right here, there it is. The free kill for him. And that's why you see players just not jiggling with their guns out. That's why you jiggle with your knife or a nade out, because you're so much faster. When you're doing it with your gun, because you're so slow, it makes it so much easier for the opera to land that shot. And that's exactly what happened. They've walked all the way into A, and there's only one man nearby. That's Axile, just outside of Donut, but he's on the mid side. So now Astralis has the read that they are actually stacking over towards B. And they are just calling the bomb to A. So sometimes you might commit to going towards B with the double flank. On this occasion, they're just going to call everybody back over. Now, the one thing they don't have control of is Donut, but they have a ton of utility. There's no reason for that not to get smoked off here. And this will just end up being the save from players. When this bomb gets planted, it'll just be the save. There's the smoke for Donut. And I don't imagine they'll go for this. Oh my god, they are. And Config gets Shiro again on the rotation. 2 rounds in a row now. Bomb is going to drop, but that shouldn't actually matter. They should just be able to recover that one and plant. Surely. Guys. No, not like this, please. Drop that re-smoke. No! He gets the bomb again? How are they doing this? How is players letting this happen? They're making it happen. The op kill from Farlig, and Glaive does get the trade back onto Axile. Finally, he's stopped. And it is going to come down to the 1 versus 1, and Hobbit knows where he is. He's jiggling. He's trying to bait the shot. If he can get this one out, this could be massive, and Farlig misses, and players somehow win that round. Astralis completely messing up the plant. They mess up the post plant. They don't cover the guy planting, and somehow players win that round. What a absolute mess up from Astralis.
Man, they have made a meal out of that one. Astralis, it looked so shaky, so fragmented. It finally felt like they had gotten back to a point where it's like, okay, you're going to get the round now. It took you a little while, but you're going to get it. And then no, Hobbit, he closes it down. 14 frags to his name. A 7-4 split. Oh, that is soul crushing. Okay. That is going to ruin you.
And there's no excuse for that, okay? Because Config had full CT control, and he killed the person rotating. You have 4 guys towards the site. 4. The only place they can kill their bomber from is Donut. The first kill on the spam, okay, that happens, right? Okay, fine. These next kills that he gets are ridiculous. Drop that smoke into Donut. As soon as you hear him spamming the smoke, everyone needs to be shooting back at him. Molly behind the smoke. Spray into it. Do not let him make that play. There's no reason to not have 2 players dedicated to fighting the man in Donut. While your teammate's planting the bomb. There's no threat anywhere else. Config has CT. You don't have to watch Temple. You don't have to worry about the CT scale. Just what a mistake. As now they're scaling into B, and this is going all the way towards players until Farlig does answer back with the headshot on the AK. Glaive, there's one man playing on the far side of the smoke, and he's able to answer it. 2 versus 2 now, and maybe Astralis can pull off the 2v4 like players did in the previous round.
They need to. If they want to keep this close at the half, you've got to take everything you can find. Shiro, he's on the site. He's got the backup of Axile. Glaive, suspicious about the fight from middle. Farlig's walking into cave, and he's actually going to go for the flank the whole way round. He's clearing out through Donut and pushing up into the A site. Farlig's just held for this towards cave the entire time. If he can potentially bait them over as well, this could be huge. It really does come down to how the CTs opt to play this one. We're still a minute on the clock. Axile and Shiro walking up together. He throws away the AWP and instead goes on to the M4. And they have led them to believe that this is actually going to be a late round play towards A. They think the T's have taken a bomb there. Instead, the bomb is still lurking at A. And it's just Glaive here on a hitman mission.
Oh, and now Farlig's coming back. They peek middle, and now Glaive has been waiting for this face in CT. He waited for so long, almost 40 seconds he was sitting there just waiting for Shiro to walk up, and at the exact moment that he does is when Glaive moves and clears the close CT angle. Molotov is going to allow the plant, but Farlig has to pull off the 1 versus 2, the smoke, and they're going to scale fast, and Shiro, the wide swing, the F1 peak, and that is the headshot, and he's going to go back for his op, so players pick up their 8th. Astralis not able to answer back. The timing for Glaive there is just so unlucky.
That's really rough for him. Tried to play the mind games, play the positioning, but just as he faces the CTs, we're in a prime spot to stop it. And keep in mind, this is Astralis' map pick.
Yep.
Ancient is their turf. And at the minute, they're being turfed out. Players, you've got a 4-round lead. You're looking good on your CT side. And they're winning rounds they shouldn't even have a chance in.
Yeah. I mean, still, they are on the CT side, and 4 rounds on T-side Ancient, definitely, it isn't terrible, right? It's a very CT-sided map, and we saw Astralis are very good at their CT side as well. So this isn't the end of the world. It's not a terrible half, at least not yet. If it goes 11-4, that's pretty bad, but it's not, you know what I mean? It's not awful. It's just like, okay, fine. We didn't have a great T side, but now we get to go to CT and just start stomping them, right? That'll be the thought process.
Yeah.
It's not just that the scoreline's 8-4. I can't believe Astralis lost that 3 versus 5. I can't believe that.
It's a punishing round to lose. And it can dent your confidence as well. And that's something that you need in this sort of matchup. Config as well, they've had his number time and time again, and he is such a beast on T-side Ancient. The fact he's only 6 for 13 and hasn't been able to find any real leg room for them is going to make it even harder for Astralis to get into the game.
Yeah, he has died every single round.
Yep.
Although he's got crucial kills on the rotations when he's pushed up through middle. Oh, timing on these peaks are just ridiculous. Axile jumps up, Glaive walks around the corner, and Axile can't land it. The in-game leader from Astralis finds the headshot, keeps all of his HP. Oh, and a crucial miss from Farlig, and he's going to be punished! Hobbit flicking up, lands the dink onto Glaive as well, and Farlig with 2 crucial misses. Means that Astralis is going to get control of middle, and now Zip gets the kill onto Inters. Device is pushed all the way through. Can he get into the back of Shiro now? Zip, aware of the possibility, throws the flash out. Does Shiro peek? Does he face? He's taking his time. And he actually now knows, he has the idea that they're going to be pushed up into CT. Not calmed over to Nefani, though, and he is going to drop. Astralis pick up their 5th. It was looking pretty bad for them, but at the end, players not able to secure it.
No, I felt like he could have been in a good spot there. The linchpin towards Temple, potentially, but they starve off any chance of him finding impact into the round. And Astralis do get another one on the board. Hobbit really did go on an unexpected journey in this round. He ran out middle, he was diving over bullets, finding all of the kills. But Glaive, with him staying alive, even with just 10 HP, that was enough for him to get the round over the finish line and take us 8-5 as we're coming up close towards the end of the first half. Hobbit, he's just running in with a USP.
I'm a little surprised that Nefani wasn't expecting any sort of CT play from Glaive in that moment. Okay, Config runs through. Oh, Glaive gets caught pulling a nade out, and he is still going to find the 3 regardless. 3 kills for him. It is now just Nefani. And he is just dead.
Yeah, Farlig with a Crocodile Tears. Shoots him in the back of the head on a P250. And an 8-7 would be massive.
Even a 9-6. This is now a very good half for Astralis. Yeah. Could have been even better, but, you know, we'll let that one go. Eventually, I'll let it go mentally.
It'll bother you for a little bit. Once they get onto the CT side, though, I'm sure all will be forgotten if Blame F is able to go up to his old tricks. But still, last round of the half. Hobbit, again towards middle. Prepared for the scrap. Does a lot of damage, but goes down in the opening commotion. That's Config with the initial pick. Blame F on the flick! Oh, that is grotesque.
What a flick. What a 180 from him. Config found the opening into this one, but does drop to Nefani as he's pushing through red. You can see Axile responding here towards main. Farlig not going to miss that one. It lands. They get the trade. They hear the rotations, and they're just going to run over to B.
Played the numbers game. Link up together. Bomb shuffling back through spawn. Glaive as well, holding the angle. He's going to see the peak onto the head. And it all goes down to Shiro. 11-7. He's had some big rounds, but a lot of them have been when he's had the AWP in his hands. This time it's the silenced M4.
And he is tucked away deep in Ivy. He's holding for the B aggression, but the bomb should just be planted. And once that happens, he doesn't have a kid. He's got to try to go for the retake, obviously. It's the last round of the half. Molotov inside of B. He clears out his CT spawn, worried about that flank from Glaive. This deep smoke has just pretty much ruined the round for him. There's just no way. Like, he has to try to go through it because he doesn't have a kit, so he's running out of time. He's still worried about this flank from CT that isn't coming. There's no one there. And by the time he waits for this smoke to fade, there's the second one, and now everything's falling apart. He literally just, he's like, all right, fine, whatever, you win. He's just like, I can't win, that's fine. I'll just run through the smoke.
I have to get it over with at that point.
Yeah.
There really is nothing you can do. So an 8-7 half. That's actually massive for Astralis. They'll be landed with the way that's gone. God, look at that stare.
I can't. I'm mesmerized.
Players, knowing how close they were to a dominant half. I can't get over that flick. That was just unreal.
It is filthy. All those deathmatch hours he puts in.
Yeah.
Now that he doesn't have to in-game lead, it's just more DM time.
Just focus on shooting heads. Okay, it's the second half pistol. Zip's got the dualies.
Love that for him.
Yeah, where's this madman going to be taking these bad boys? Ooh, over towards A. B even. He's taking them inside a cave.
It should be A.
Yeah, I know. It is the classic Mandela effect of Ancient. Do need to flip those sides. Glaive in the 1v1 towards A main. Axel's going to walk in.
Oh my god.
Ooh, fight towards Nut as well. This is looking a bit risky. Glaive, he gets caught on a timing, so he's shot in the back of the head by the Glock. Farlig, he'll snipe down one, but the kills are falling over to the player's camp. Oh, all right, Farlig, 10 for 10, 2 kills on a pistol. What more can he do?
You need to try to find the player that's inside of the site right now. They know Axile's here. He's actually able to land the headshot, and Shiro peeks out to help him. That Zip with the dualies, he goes down, not able to find any impact with the weapons. As they're grouping up towards middle now, Shiro's going to have some help from Nafany, and they're going to commit through Donut. Blame F is here. Can he do something amazing? The big boulder of Blame F. Is he able to find them? So far, the shot's not landing. He's running low on bullets. Gets the first. Flicks can't land the headshot onto Shiro. Can't land the bullets. He does get one. He makes it interesting. But in the end, it's players picking up the second half pistol.
It looked close. It looked scary. Blame F and Farlig finding important kills. But Axile, he did an awful lot. Massive round from him. Mauls the CTs of Astralis here in the second pistol. Now they've got the better buy because of it. The SMGs are out. Double mat 10. One Galil and the 2 AKs. But look at the A main attack. They're running in with a 5.7. Blame F. Oh, Furious on a pistol. Taps down 2 of them. And already this is just a 3 versus 3.
Ooh, thankfully for them, Axile answers back, but that is config. That's what he can do. The Deagle headshot found in middle. The MAC-10's dropped. It is just the 2 AKs remaining. And what are they going to do? 5-7 from Glaive, spots out 1, more info gathered. Zip finds the back of the player in Shiro, but he's not able to land the kill from that range. Just can't find the headshot. RNG doesn't favor him as Glaive has tucked himself away in the corner. He is going to be able to find him. That's Axile dropping. It has to be Shiro. 1 versus 3. Gets the first. Takes the tag, though, and the AK is already rotated into the site. The second round, 1 out by Astralis.
Blame F on the A main crunch. Just annihilates them with the pistol prowess. All of the bullets. Causing so much carnage. Config as well with the Deagle towards middle. Comes in like a can opener and just takes the top off. And now Astralis, they're only 1 round away from tying this game up. This is their map pick. They're on the CT side now. And they're making it look a lot more lively. Tech 9s for players. 1 P250 as well for good measure. And they're all grouped up outside of B. We know what Astralis like to do here. Blame F, when he's in position to push, he tends to just swing on you at cave.
Oh, yeah. I think if he had an M4, maybe he would be a little bit more confident in this fight.
Yeah, the Famous, not so much.
No, the gun does suck.
Mm-hmm.
Do hate it.
It is just kind of bad.
They're all grouping up towards ramp. And the execute should be coming in. They have the utility for it. Oh, Shiro and the quick switch. Molotov's coming in. The only man in the site is Zip. He has the MAC-10. The flashes are good. They full blinded him. They're going to rush up towards long. Farlig is only here. He's the only one here for the response. And respond he does. 3 M4 frags for him as Hobbit finds Blame. It's the 2v2. They have the map control, but Config coming in with the swing. The double headshot denies players their bomb plant, denies them their response.
The stone cold killer at the end of the round there. So it's all tied up. It's neck and neck. 9 a pop for either team. And this game has been so back and forth into a few of the rounds. So many weird plays, the moments of madness. The players have nothing to invest at all, just Glock. So this should be a formality for Astralis. Get themselves on the double digits first. Is that Ecos? Can you smell them?
Do I smell Ecos for Blame F at B?
Oh, it looks like it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Benjamin.
Dun, dun, dun,
More like
dun.
Harrison Ford as he
Dun,
runs in,
dun,
taking the
dun.
treasure there.
Dun,
2
dun,
kills on the M4. He wants the third and final one on the spam, but instead Axel goes down to Zip in the close quarters engagement.
And Blame F, whenever he smells those ecos, he becomes that big rolling boulder down the lane, trying to find every single one of those. This time with the M4, he has confidence in his swing. 3 kills for him on the round. And that was the full eco, of course, for players. So now we're going to see the guns brought out. Shiro shouldn't have the op. No, he doesn't. Oh, I just realized Inter's on 2 and 15 right now.
Yeah, man. He's had a really slow game.
Oh, that's rough.
No, it's a shame to see. But this is not a slow round at all. They are just running out A main and trying to execute onto the A site instantly. Execution against Glaive. He's gone down, as you say in his name, and he's woken up.
Say him and he will appear. Config now. He's pushing in and he can't find the shot. Axile lands the kill, and this should be the save now for Astralis. But again, Zip lands the dink, but no frag. It is just Blame F. He's by himself, 1v5. They're already hunting him too. Look, there's already the player in T-spawn. That's Hobbit.
Yeah, Hobbit has gone full John Rambo. He wants to find him and cut him down, stop him from being able to save anything into the realm. Blame F. Just going to tuck in. Needs to hold on to all of his equipment here. But players holding on to the tight game, as it will swing back 10-10. Again, level footing in the scoreline.
Astralis shouldn't have too much of a problem buying. Yeah, I was going to say Farleague and Glaive will be low, but Blame F can drop 1. Could even drop 2, actually, but it would be the FAMAS, so it's like, you know?
Do you really want the FAMAS that
Like,
bad?
I'll give you 1. I'll drop it, but I don't know. And good for Inters to find some impact into the round as well, right? Finding that entry over on A.
It does tickle me with Config's player picture, by the way. Whenever he gets flashbang, it looks like when you're like sat up playing games at 4 AM and you open a text document.
Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, look at that.
Just, my eyes.
I'm blind.
Oh, hello, Config. He's arrived on the server. Hits the headshot onto Hobbit. So that's an opening pick going away to CTs. Wow, Config. Giving it now. 2 clean kills.
And the smoke towards main as well. It's just going to slow down this play from players. Counter smoke again. And they're just like, stop. We want to walk out. You're using all these grenades. If you didn't use grenades against us, we would have won this round. That's what they're thinking right now.
I want to try and rotate off. They've got the bomb on the back of Axel. He's still lurking towards A main. They expect the CTs to have taken deep control as well after they found those opening picks towards the B site. So they're going to take their time clearing out all the angles.
And they have had to fall back over towards B. Now, the good thing for them... okay, never mind. They're just saving. Take it all back. Again, I was going to go say something. I was like, well, Astralis, they don't have any smokes left, so they're going to be able to get up onto the site. And they're not going to have a smoke for the defuse, so as long as they get the pick, and I was just going to create this whole storyline of things that are just...
And then Axel just grabs the bomb and goes, no.
Yeah, it was like the metaphor for my like build up I was going to do for that one. As I'm starting to do it, he just throws the bomb away. He's like, shut up, noob.
You are the bomb, and you've just been thrown.
Yeah. Manhandled me.
Yeah. So Astralis, with the 11th round, the metronome of the game continues to swing back and forth. Little fist bumps coming out.
And players, they haven't really found a way so far on the T side to get out mid and deal with config, right? It's still very early in the half. So I'm assuming we're going to see a little bit more of that because that was huge in the last game that Astralis played, even against ASG, right? That was the one spot where they were able to find the openings. Like, yeah, Astralis beat them 16-5, but that was just because the other 4 players, I mean, Blame F at lane was just an absolute monster in that game.
Yeah, no one could stop Blame F then. He just ran away with it, did whatever he wanted every single round. And here again, he's pushed up onto Cave as well. He's been able to peek out and look straight down the ramp. So they've already got so much map control. He will cascade back though, after the utility comes out on middle. But they have got a deep smoke. And the T's are walking off.
And there was some aggression here inside of A main. Oh, and Config, he's still here. He's still nearby. And Axile actually lands the shot. First bullet, straight to the brain of Config. But they still have 2 players inside of the A site. Because Far League has been posted on this line in middle, they know that no one's crossed over to red. And so that allows them to play heavy towards really whichever site that they want. 2 inside Donut, 1 now in CT spawn. That is Blame F. They're gambling over here towards A. And Glaive, he is peeking out into mid, but he's still nearby as Farleak's come back, and he's going to get the first contact. Gets the 1, needs to jump away. Blame F with the second, and they're in such good positions now.
Turmoil caused towards the temple from Blame F. Glaive as well. Stops the bleeding. And doesn't allow anyone access into the A site. It's just Shiro with the AWP. Scoped in, looking to punish, but time's ticking away. Hits the first flick, can't land the adjustment shot onto Glaive. Goes down just before time passes over in the round. And Astralis, again, add another piece to their counter. Getting closer and closer to that 16th round to lock down the first map here. This is their map pick in the best of 3. A best of 3 which decides which team will be going to the major in Antwerp.
And double op was recovered for the CTs as well. 1 being passed over to Config. Is the mid player for the team. Counter smoke coming in towards middle. That's just to deny the information. As he is down at the bottom. And they actually have both ops over towards A. We have Farleague posted on A main. He is by himself and he's in a very advanced position. And that's where players are going. It's going to be difficult for him to multi-frag. He might find the opening, but they're going to close him down.
He's poised, he's prepared, but he misses the initial shot and they go sprinting up behind him. Hard commit with the AK spray and he falls because of it. Now you've got an edge. You need to get the bomb down swiftly though. Smokes are up, bomb going down. CT's fighting back towards CT spawn, but there's a second frag for the T side in a round and all things are going the way of players as it's just Config and Blame F that remain alive. Axile, he's been sent off to the Burns ward, but players are certainly heated up in this one.
And Farleague, he just wasn't expecting the A play. He's playing close. The idea there is you just find the pick on the 1A lurker, but they were going for the full A execute. As soon as he heard those nades being pinned is when he should have been running away. He wanted to get that first shot off. And the player he shot at, yeah, he missed that guy in A main, but that wasn't the player that was going to kill him. It was the guy close on his left that was the threat. You can't get away to Donut. You don't have the time. They're just too close. So even if he landed that kill, he still gets immediately traded. And then his team, they're not able to rotate in time because they think he has A main control. So that no one's close enough. And it's a huge problem. It's not necessarily a mistake because like they didn't know they're going to do a full A execute, but it is like, I don't know, as soon as you hear those nades being pulled close on your left, if you hear a nade close left when you're there, you need to just get out of there. Run and jump away to Donut because you are going to die. 1 for 1's the best you can hope for.
Rambunctious attack towards the ramp early and Config scopes him with the AWP. Takes the legs off. Drops players down into a 4 versus 5. Double cave setup as well. So Astralis looking very heavy-handed into the 24th round.
Yeah, they brought up the double ops again. And Hobbit, he can't cross over. This is the only line he can hold. He knows that. If he crosses over, could potentially walk into the op of Config and of course. Just of course. As I'm saying is like, you can't cross because Config's op is there. Config pulls out a smoke, walks around the corner, and that's the exact moment Hobbit runs and jumps across. It's just like, all right.
I know Hobbit, he's in the back line towards CT. He can be such a nuisance. He's going to get the kill onto Glaive as well on the rotate. And the whole round goes into utter chaos. Shiro with the AWP wields it like a shotgun and blows Config to bits. Farleague falls, missing a critical hit as well. And this is just looking rough. Hobbit with a real heroic play. 3 frags into the round, 22 kills to his name. Just Blame F left alive. And he's got no one to blame this round on. It's dead and gone.
Yep, it is. And that's how you can tell config is like a secondary opera and not a primary opera, because an opera recognizes that you cannot give up this line, right? It's so important to not let them cross. And the worst part is, because he threw the smoke and then re-peeked out into mid, from his point of view, no one crossed. There was literally like half a second when Hobbit could have crossed, and then it's just the exact half a second when he did. And so that wasn't communicated over to Glaive, and then Hobbit's in the back line. He gets a free pick. Config drops because they molly him out because they know he's in there because he just threw a smoke and scoped and made a bunch of noise. And then as soon as Farleague misses that one onto Hobbit, it's just done. It's just over. It's just like, just hold the line until they force you off. It's so important. You have to just post up and just hold it. If they force you off, they force you off. You can communicate it over. You know, you can do whatever. But until they make you leave your line as an opera, you're not supposed to give it up. Oh, triple boost coming. Inter seem to be partially aware of it, at least. Oh, you know what's funny? I just realized. So Inter's got that opening pick a couple rounds ago, right? They put him up to 3 frags. But then his Molotov team killed Axile, so he's back down to 2.
Oh, no.
And then if he dies right there to the triple boost, it's just like insult to injury again. Just even worse. It's just like, man, give him a break.
Getting progressively more tilted.
Yeah, just give him a break, man. Come on. He didn't deserve for wrecked.
Shiro's going to be watching. He's hit this shot in the past. This time he does actually miss it, and he's able to jump away. So the CT still have 5 alive. Oh, blame F. With the hero M4, takes the peek out towards middle, but Shiro does find the reaction shot. Stays alive with 9 HP. And now it's a 5 versus 4 with all of the Ts marauding their way into the B site, which is completely open. They should be able to get this backstab off onto Hobbit as well. So that's potentially an AK grabbed, which they could either save or use into this round. The game's tied up 12-12 at the minute, and they are wrapping back round towards B. They're going swiftly into this one. They're bringing the rifles here as well. Farleague, he's only on 22 HP, and he's looking for the kills. Zip's got an AK, he's pulled up, hard spray from Inters. There's the follow-up frag from Axile, and it's all on Zip. He's going to be swung on, does hit one, down to the 1v2. Oh, he's taking a peek out on the ramp. Shiro is so low, he's only got 9 HP. There is a defuse kit in his back pocket. He's grabbed the flashbang as well. Clears the ramp. Does he expect the face from the cave? He wants to tap the bomb. Watching ramp, expecting them to peek together. They are going to face onto him. He's seen one. If he goes in, he might be able to cleave his way through them, but it's a bait so that Shiro can watch the line with the AWP. He hits the shot, pulls back the bolt, and another round goes there. What was that?
Sometimes it's got to be done.
Little hand slap.
They could have just started holding hands.
That would have been cute.
Yeah. So players are battling back. They're fighting back. They're keeping this close. Realistically, Astralis' money wasn't very good. They should have held on to those 2 guns that they had. They kind of... It's not that they needed them per se. Actually, no, they did need them. Look, Zip and Config are both on FAMAS just to make sure they can get the full nades. There's no kits. They needed to hold on to those guns. It's a small mistake, but it could cost them this round. And if they lose this round, then they're on half buy, which means they're giving up match point. Oh, map point. It is BO3 now. BO3's now after all. And also, this is the qualifying game, so one of these 2 teams will be at the major in Antwerp. If you want to get your tickets, QR code is on your screen. Next time that one pops up. Yep, next time it pops up, you scan that bad boy.
It's a hot commodity. Once they're gone, they're gone. They ain't coming back. But will Astralis be able to come back with that weakened buy? Ooh, very aggressive play down the bottom of ramp. Spam out on the FAMAS.
M4 gets that kill.
Probably does. Instead, it's just a ton of damage distributed between the Ts. Oh, Hobbit, he's waiting for this one. He's going to walk in and finds the headshot onto Blame F. Oh. Follow-up tag as well. Bit of a stalemate, but you do have the firepower advantage in the battle of attrition. 5 versus 4 with still 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock. And Hobbit, he's just going in.
They're regrouping. They are going to clear him, but again, the FAMAS isn't able to land the kill. He swings out, gets one more tag onto Farlig, puts him down to 66, and now the pop flash is in. It's so good. They don't clear the angle. Axile spins, lands the headshot, and gets the second. Farlig cannot respond. The bomb is going to go down, and Config, with just the FAMAS, has to save, and this is one of the saddest saves in Counter-Strike right here. You know you have to hold on to the FAMAS, but you're like, really? Do I, though? Like, do I need this next round? I'd rather have a Deagle.
Yeah. Worth its weight in gold. And no opportunity to really be bold with this Famous. So the round goes the way of players. 14 on the board, 1 away from map point, 2 away from the win. On the home turf of Astralis, they chose Ancient into this best of 3. And if they can't answer back soon, they could be losing it. Then we'd move on to Dust 2. And Dust 2, that could be a spicy little meatball, especially if players are able to pick up this and take the upset win on Astralis' map pick. This whole series could go from looking like we're going to get 3 maps out of it to potentially being done in 2.
I'm shocked that they haven't been able to do more here on their CT side. Some real close rounds, don't get me wrong. But it just seems, I don't know, it just seems wild to me. And going into Dust 2, the big problem for Astralis is that in the last 3 months, they've played it 5 times, haven't won a single time.
They'd have to break that and finally get a win on Dust 2 if they want to take the series to the 3rd and final map of Inferno. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
Config is trying to keep us in the present for now. He gets 1, but Axile, he's been putting all of his points into agility, Davey. Man's flicking and certainly bickering back. That's the one saved weapon for the CTs as well. So now it's just pistols in a 3 versus 4.
And he's popping off. Now, don't get me wrong, he's no Sphinx, but still 27 and 13 right now for Axile. And a massive impact player. Him and Hobbit have had some just absolutely unreal rounds that have just single-handedly they've been able to pick up the wins. As the flanks are coming in now, but like you said, just the pistols, only armor on Blame F. Unless Zip can do something dirty with this Deagle from CT spawn, this should be a round going the way of players. Farlig has grabbed an AK, but again, like I said, no armor. And now the nades isolate Zip as well. Farlig's making noise. Shiro's heard him. He spins. He lands it. That's the AK down. And again, it's one of those moments where it's like, you probably should have just saved that, shouldn't you? Like, what do you... Were you going to go in and kill them all, were you? Yeah, gonna run through the donut and 1-tap 4 players? Is that what you were going to do?
He wishes, but it's not going to come true. And instead, the only fact that we can say here is that players have made it to 15. Match point is theirs. 1 round away from going to Dust 2 with a lead in the series against Astralis. Astralis that feel like they're falling flat now on their CT side. The buy will be coming out. Farlig already dons the AWP. Curious to see what the response will be from Astralis. It feels like they're giving so much respect over as well, which isn't what we usually see from Astralis. They do go for a double AWP though, so Glaive's got the second scope this time.
I wonder if he's going to keep it or if he is going to pass that over. We did see him do a bit of hopping when Lucky was on the roster, you know?
Yeah, full glass cannon as well though, because they just didn't have the funds.
Yeah, he goes for the nades instead of the light armor. He had 800, and he was trying to decide there. You could see he's like, do I buy the light armor? Do I buy the nades? All right, I'll buy the nades. So he's backing himself to land those shots and be able to get away. That's one thing that any secondary opera can be good at, is just practicing where you take your shot, fall back to your next line. Take your shot, fall back to your next line. If you position yourself well, you can make it so you're going to get 2 or 3 shots off at any given round. Flash goes over, tag onto Nafany. Now, Blame F would have called that. He would have called that you're hitting him. And he spins, he looks at his teammate like, are you shooting me, bro? What's going on right now?
He's worried about it. Blame F wants to give them a reason to be paranoid, though, towards Cave. He's seen the jump spot round the corner. They dash out the Molotov, and he backs back. They were hoping that they were going to be chasing him down so that potentially they can find the frag. They will still hit 1. And Nafany falls. And it is a 4 versus 5 into the 28th round.
Yeah, re-aggression from Blame finds the pick there. And I was actually about to say how Players has done such a good job just nullifying Blame F's presence there.
Yeah.
But this time, they force him back. He re-aggresses, finds the kill, picks up that second smoke, drops that in the same spot. So 40 seconds left. They are inside of Cat, but they haven't been able to scale forward to Cave. There's one player lurking over towards A. That's Hobbit, but the bomb is towards B. They're boosting. Farlig hasn't heard it, and Shiro lands the shot. Farlig again on the close angle, gets punished.
Stunning shot from Zero. So much more to be done, though. And Axar, he goes in again. Grabs the orb, wielding his teammate's weapon, but Blame F will batter him. And it all falls down to a close 3 versus 3 with just 16 seconds on the clock. The bomb is sprinting in towards the A site, and the CTs believe it to be B. Shiro can get the plant just in the nick of time, and we're into a 2v2, all on the line here for Astralis.
What a call by players to rotate over. Blame F drops to enters inside of B, and that even solidifies the rotations, and now the CTs are split. They have to scale forward. Glaive has the op, but it is the glass cannon. Is he going to be able to find the shot? He's tucked away. He's missed him. He's running forward, and this should be a freebie for Hobbit, and it's not looking good. No, he clears it! Glaive, absolute genius to find that frag, and the second! Glaive, it looked like the round going the way of players. The perfect call. Hobbit tucked away in the corner, but Glaive with the big brain pushes up and clears him.
Oh, when striving for glory, you've got to get glory. And that's exactly what Glaive does on the scope. 2 big shots. Impact frags on the secondary AWP there. And they keep themselves in the game. They hedge their bets slightly closer. The tightest intricacies on that round as well. It looked like players were going to finally close out Ancient and send us to Dust 2. Instead, it's 15-13. Astralis fighting towards middle once more as well. Config, he charges up, dashes the smoke. Hobbit walks into him. Point blank, the close quarters combat goes the way of Config.
And the flash going, oh, he's timing him. Nafany's got into Cave. Blame F doesn't see him. He's got the nade out, and he drops. Nafany just walking straight through the smoke. Counter smoke comes in, and he pushes through again. The second kill for him on the round. This man is the new smoke criminal, as he's got 2 inside of the cave.
A break in the action. As the pace slows down, Shiro poised on the angle, though expecting the face, and Glaive, he walks into it, giving him another pick and giving players another edge into the 29th round.
And Config's rotated over, but those nades, they just give a little bit too much away. They're like, okay, yeah. We definitely believe this is B, as Config spots them both. A ton of damage, and now Farlig's been spotted. They know he's in CT, and that this should be it. There's no way Farlig's going to be able to come back into this one. Shiro has the rotation covered. They know exactly where he is. The utility just keeps coming out. He's blind. He goes forward. He can't even find the first. That is going to be it. Nafany closing it out on Astralis' map pick of Ancient, 16-13. And the heroics from Glaive in the previous round is not enough to save his team.
It kept them in it for one more round, but that's all it was. A single extra round for Astralis. The game itself and the map falls in favor of players as they pick up Astralis' map pick, Davey, and they're 1 map up in the series now going into Dust 2.
And a Dust 2 that Astralis has not won a single game on with this lineup. They haven't won 1 time on Dust 2. It's players map pick, and now Astralis, you can see they know how far back their backs are up against the wall. Yeah. They are struggling. They're all the way back. They're like, oh no, we're gotta go to Dust 2 now. This is not good.
It's not good at all. It is scary stuff. Prof and everyone on the desk was thinking this is gonna go to the full 3 maps, but Shocks, are we still going to 3?
Apparently not, if I'm listening to my analysts correctly, because of players winning Ancient and Dust 2 being up next. Prof, you were definitely changing your mind halfway through that game.
Everyone on the desk thought it was going to 3 maps. I just want to make this clear.
Why is that message out there?
Let's just
all agree.
No, but
Maniacs is definitely out there.
Let's say it is the hope that we would see 2 teams that are playing the best Counter-Strike they can show us, and thus they give us 3 maps. But players, in the end, they got a little hairy, right? Nafany really had to step up, but that triumvirate of players just putting up the numbers.
3 of the best players we have in the world. I mean, Hobbit, Shiro, Axile, all popping numbers, all making the difference, all making the plays. And you're right, players took the scenic route to win this game. They had only 8 rounds on their defense, then they won the pistol, but lost the round after that. They allowed Astralis to take control of the game financially and positionally. So for Nafany to be able to dig his team out of that hole, that was great.
Yeah, six out of 7 rounds in the end to close out the game. You don't really see that a lot. They even lost one of those anti-ecos, as you mentioned, Blame F on the 5-7 and then closing it out. So you didn't make it easy for yourself at all. The T side from Astralis is really good. And that's a reason why I kind of lean towards Astralis as being this, like, maybe the best team in the world on Ancient. But the CT side just fell apart. Hobbit had his ends in it, and a couple of clutches coming their way as well.
What was it? How did Hobbit disrupt Astralis' CT side rather so heavily?
I think that there was a very good balance for Nafan in his calls between extremely fast, explosive, pacey Counter-Strike, just relying on one frag, literally. And then after that, after you've shocked your opponent, you play a bit more of the timing-based, default-based, and this is where Hobbit did his best work.
Is this when I often hear players, oh, they're annoying to play against, Prof? Is this what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think Hobbit kind of even mirrored Config's play, but did it better, because we talked about Config in the lead-up. How well is he going to perform? Not doing so well at this tournament so far. And Hobbit is a player also on Ancient that can pull off similar plays. Go into these lurky smokes in mid, get into the CT spawn, and then make all of these rotations super uncomfortable and make the CT side that's usually super strong just very, very on edge.
We actually have a couple of rounds to show Hobbit. Let's take a look at round 11 specifically, which I think was, it's such a shame that Astralis can actually not close that one out.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a fumble when it comes to Astralis on that one. You see the positions they were having in the lead up to that clutch. It's a 5v3. They have everything they need, and now there is going to be a bit of an unfortunate situation with the smoke right here. That's not even a gap, that's a highway. And Axile completely catches BlameF off guard. Nafany finds another kill, and a 5v3 that looked to be completely under control is actually down to 5 seconds. Leaving Hobbit, and obviously we'll have to give a shout out to the Jiggle Peak right there.
The 1v1 against Farley here is huge. Like, this is so patient, just baiting out that one shot, waiting for it to come, and then wide swinging. Let's be real, in the end, Farley could have had that shot. He could have and should have had that shot, and then again in the second half we have a similar scenario.
Did you think woulda, coulda, shoulda sometimes on those Farlick shots when it came down to the clutches?
I mean, wasn't really an amazing performance by him. We were talking in the green room about Farlig versus the previous Hoppers, and I'm still not sold that he can lift this team to a next level, and maybe not because of him, but because of how they use their Hoppers.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting conversation maybe, right? Because obviously there's some shots that you think should have maybe made it, but what is it when you say the way Astralis use their Hopper?
You have to put your Hopper in a situation to have as many shots as possible. Essentially, have the ability to rotate around the round and around the map, and when you miss one, to drop back and have some support, have a flash smoke, everything for you. Like, they were just leaving him to anchor the A site, essentially. It's a weird way of using your primary Hopper.
I know, and I wonder if this isn't a consequence of that whole period they had with Lucky. That was a little bit missing, like hit or miss, and then Glaive at some point even took out the AWP. And I wonder if just naturally they figured out a way to lessen that impact.
Band-Aid.
But exactly, but that's a Band-Aid. That's not a long-term solution. Prof is right. The AWP is extremely centric in Counter-Strike nowadays, and you need to put him in the best positions.
Yeah, and you'd want him to kind of be able to develop the way he will shine and not in a system that maybe worked for a previous team. I think that's quite interesting to follow. Let's take a look at round 24 as well. Again, Hobbit gets the better of them, and I think his impact in this whole game was just phenomenal.
That's a beautiful round from Hobbit right here. The timing he hits, the fact that he jumped over that little ledge right here, catching the kill onto Glaive, and then again, there'll be a little bit of a jiggle peek against Farlig. That right here, it might look like nothing, but the fact that you step 2 or 3 times, you put Farlig in a very pressureful situation, and then he even adds another one onto Zip. That round had Hobbit written all over it.
11-12, like, you see how important that round is on the scoreboard, and that just enables the comeback, the 6 out of 7 rounds that players want to close out the game.
In general, is it fair to say that for the side of players, they will be a team that will punish you extremely hard if you make those things like, oh, the smoke isn't perfect, my positioning isn't perfect, etc. Do they get the most out of those situations?
I think, like, firepower-wise, especially when you have these 3 players popping off, you can't get away with mistakes.
Okay.
They don't allow that.
Well, Astralis made a couple. They still made it contentious, but it was their mapping, right? So that's just not enough.
That's my problem, Shocks. I would like to join you. I would like to say, oh, you know, that was a good try for Astralis. But again, it's the context of how that first map goes away. It's when you have full control on the CT side of Ancient, your map, the most CT-sided map we have in the game, and yet 6 on the last 7 rounds go by the wayside. This just tells me that players are in a much more comfortable position.
And now we're going on to Dust 2, baby. Players.
Yikes from me, dog.
Yikers.
Yikes from me. 5-map losing streak on Dust 2 for Astralis. They decided to remove Mirage, which is also not a map that they're super comfortable on. It's maybe kind of a curveball in terms of what the preparation is going to be like. I would expect players to see a Mirage coming in and prepare for Mirage.
Fair.
So maybe they're not super prepared for Dust 2, but Astralis' Dust 2 has been horrible. Like the cohesion between the A and B bomb site does not exist.
And in case you've missed that, players inflicted a little bit of a correction to Liquid on Dust 2 during Pro League. And I think that's what everyone is fearing, the fact that they can just take over and eat you alive. Astralis haven't exactly given us insurances on Dust 2, so I truly feel like we'll have to rely on some of these individuals to pop off and counteract whatever that is.
Yeah, and it feels counterintuitive to say that, because I feel like for Astralis, you're waiting to see how they can work as a hive mind, right? Which we say about a lot of the teams that do it. I think Players is a great example of that, because even if some of their players like Inters, right, are not having a big game, they will still have those impact frags that work in the kind of cohesion of everything. For Astralis, though, you're now saying, I need the star players to have a star performance, because does that mean you don't believe in the cohesion at all, or what does that mean?
That means I actually don't believe in the game plan on Dust 2, and that's my problem. I think it's a very dangerous premise for a team, for me to stand here and say, well, it's going to take Config having one of these games, it's going to take BlameF having one of these games. That's because I don't have a lot of credit into the depth of their Dust 2 and how they approach it if I compare it to players.
You're capitulating a bit, it seems like, Prof.
Oh,
Do you follow
I'm just
Maniac?
winning with players. I said 2-0.
Yeah, you did.
You didn't say that, but okay. Let's imagine that you did for once. It's very difficult to see a way where you have Glaive, you have Farley, who isn't really popping off too much. You have Zipnix. These 3 players are not the most exciting young talents that we have in the scene. When you see them aim-wise, duel-wise, what they're going to do on the server, it has to be the Astralis system, has to be making more than the sum of their parts, right? And we don't really see that from this Astralis.
That's what we actually haven't seen yet with that roster, and that's what I guess scares me. I thought Farley could be a solution and that he would plug a bit better than Lucky and he would do what he had to. Hasn't really been the case.
Hasn't really been the case. Maybe they will shut you up and just win on Dust 2 versus players. Or it could just be players who make it to the major as legends nonetheless. We'll have a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be back with Dust 2.
I'm Maui Snake here at the PGL RMR Group B, and I am with players Nafany and Axile. We're going to see how well they know each other as teammates. So I'm going to throw you guys a couple questions each about each other, and you're going to see if you just know the answers. All right, so starting with you, we are going to see, does he believe in ghosts?
I think so, to be honest, because he's that guy who can believe it. So.
Yeah? Yeah, do you?
Yeah, I think it's true.
Okay, all right, that's one on the board right there. Second, what is his favorite thing to buy on a half-buy round?
Let me think. Half buy or?
Like $2,000.
Deal for sure. He would like to be honest, it's like in different maps it's different. On Inferno he would like to buy Mach 10 or Tech 9, I guess, instead of Deagle. But for example, if we will speak about Dust 2, I think it's Deagle or Scout.
Okay.
Okay, if you're talking about City, it's Deagle, and about T, I think Tech 9.
Okay, so he got it. Yeah, okay, nice job. Okay, last one. What's his favorite map?
Favorite map? Oh, it's hard one. I'm pretty sure that it's not Ancient. I'm sure about it. And I guess it's maybe Overpass or Mirage, I guess. I believe so.
Gotta pick one.
Okay, let's say Overpass then.
In all interviews, I said Overpass.
Okay, all right, Overpass. That's 3 out of 3. All right, nice job, good job. All right, for Nafany then. First question is gonna be, what is his favorite spot to play on any map?
I think ramp on Vertigo.
Ramp.
I guess it's easy one, yeah. That's a perfect one for me.
Second question, does he prefer to travel by plane, car, or train?
I think train.
Train?
Hard one because I don't know an answer. Because it's okay for me in travel in car or train or plane. Yeah, I don't care at all. Oh. For me, it's easy in plane or in car. But let's say car because when I was young, we was like traveling with family in car, so I like it.
Okay, all right. Before you guys were a top team, who was his favorite player? Art? Art?
I don't think so. That was art. Probably.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have a like player which I really like, but I like aggressive plays. So I would say it was Apex probably.
Oh, Apex.
But I'm saying because when I was in Gambit, I mean even youngsters, I don't have like such player who, like he was like no one was my idol. But before Gambit, I mean in my first teams, it's pretty sure was Apex. Because I still remember how we was watching demos on Cash, and I was like, wow, he's so aggressive, and he was like really strong. So yeah, I think it was Apex.
Okay, all right. So that's like 2 out of 3 right there. All right, thanks guys for playing. This has been another edition of Getting to Know Your Teammates at the PGL EU RMR.
Let's go. Battle is on. Burst RMR views with a double bonus. Get insurance for single and combo bets, both up to 20 euros. Fire up with GGBet. GGBet, this is real.
Can Astralis finally get a victory on Dust 2, or will this be players with a 2-0 running their way through the Danes and moving on to make it to the major, Davey?
I'm going to be honest with you, Jack. I don't think Astralis can do it. Dust 2, it has not been good for them at all.
It's not. It's not looked good. It's not looked clean. They have been yet to win a game in quite some time, and that's the big problem, because you have to win this map, then win on Inferno if you want the spot at the PGL Major in Antwerp. And at the minute, players, they're looking like they are too much to handle.
Yeah, I think the fact that they were able to take Ancient from Astralis is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like that just should never have happened, realistically. It's just like, even after Astralis' T side, I know Prof was saying on the desk that Astralis has a good T side. It's like, yeah, no, they do. That's true. But you got to win more on CT, don't you? Like you can't be dropping your map pick like that.
No, it can't happen. There was a few moments of greatness where they nearly held on. You know, like Glaive towards the end of the game started stepping up massively.
that was-
But even then, it's too little too late.
No, that round where he cleared Hobbit in that cubby, I was genuinely just in shock. I thought for sure, I was like, well, all right, that's it. He's tucked away. He hasn't seen him. Hobbit's going to find the free kill, and, 1v2, there's no way. And then just Glaive just runs up, no armor, hard, clears it, and punishes. And I was like, all right. And then, of course, they lose the next round right away, so it doesn't really matter. But it was still pretty cool.
Just Glaive things.
Yeah.
He is the war Glaive at times.
And that man's going to have to come up big here on Dust 2.
Yeah.
Because Config has had a pretty poor event so far. I mean, they're 2-0, so it doesn't really matter. Blame F's just been absolutely popping off, so it's like, okay, who really cares? Like, yeah, Config's not dropping 30, but it doesn't really matter if Blame F is popping off. But in the last one, players did a great job of nullifying Blame F's presence in the CT side when he was in cave, right?
They did, yeah. And that was kind of one of the crazier things about it, because obviously if he would have been able to be activated on CT side, maybe that game ends a bit differently, because he was so annoying versus ASG. Very different, opponent compared to players.
Different caliber of opponent, really.
But the style of CS that he was playing was still repeated here. It's just that he couldn't get any of those early frags off. He wasn't as confident as well. And that's a big factor. Astralis was showing so much respect on their CT side.
Yeah, and I think, players just generally just did a much better job of forcing Astralis to show respect, right? Like, it wasn't just that Astralis was just playing scared. It was like, no, players was doing a good job punishing. And anytime Astralis tried to do anything, to the point where they were too scared to do anything.
They were like, you want to fight? Not really.
No, like, you want to fight? Yeah, okay. And then they walk forward, get hit once. They're like, I don't want to anymore.
I'm not interested.
No, I don't want to. I don't want it.
Farlig was really inspecting that paper.
Yeah, no, there's... See, the thing is, he writes very, very small so that nobody else can read.
So no one else sees his notes.
Yeah, that's why. He writes... He has a very tiny little pen.
Yeah.
And he writes in like almost unintelligible letter. Like if me or you read it, we wouldn't even know. We wouldn't even be able to tell that it was Danish. It's so small. So then he can read his notes and he can read exactly what he's saying, and that's why he can use it to trash talk as well. And he can pass notes, but he's the only one who can read it, so he just passes it to himself.
You know what would be quite funny as well?
No.
So if it said Farlig when we're kind of on like the wide shot, and then close lig when they go in for the zoom. Also, who the hell is Hank? Hello.
We'll never know.
My goodness. Players have got a secret unlockable sixth character on the server. Our man Hanky G out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Look at that. I was trying to find him. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Hank over there.
Yeah, no, I see it. It's behind the sponsorship logo. I see it now. What the hell's Hank doing?
He's gone now.
You goofball.
See you later, Hank.
I'll miss him.
Yeah, he was my favorite player.
Me too.
Dead now, though.
My favorite player's player is Hank.
Hobbit, he's doing some game playing in this round as he kills them. He's still going as well. 3 kills for Hobbit. He's a bit upset that Hank was taken away from him so swiftly, so he battles back with the strength of 2 men and does find 3 frags into the round. Config comes sprinting up short. He's got the USP out, the road rash, but can he do something brash into this round? Close clear onto Zip. All on Config now in a 1v3. He's seen the player towards Goose. That'll be a tag. There's the headshot. All right. Maybe there's a potential that he can still pick up this round. He's going to take Inters down. All on Hobbit. Playing towards Plat. He peeks out. Drop to 8 HP, Davey.
And he just can't peek. One more bullet will put him down. He taps it. He's trying to hide his head, but no, that's not going to be enough. He ran out of time, and Hobbit is the one to finish him off in the end. 4 kills for him, finds the opening, and then secures the clutch. And Config just didn't have a kit. He ran out of win conditions. Once that first peek from Hobbit came out, Config landed the tag. As soon as that wasn't the headshot, as soon as that didn't do enough damage to finish him, realistically, all Hobbit had to do was pretty much AFK, and he wins the round.
Hobbit had a great start into that as well. The kills he picked up towards long left Astralis in a really horrible spot. Now the buy will come back out for either side. So we've got the Galils to work with, the MAC-10, the AK, all the D-Galirs being pulled out here for Astralis as well. The Danish Deagles, but will they be singing a sweet song? Blame F, he's going to push up onto short early as well. And the T's are just walking out long.
They're just going to walk straight out. Now, the thing is, can Zipix channel his inner Nico right now? We saw earlier Nico from this position with the Deagle. Now, I will say, slightly unfair of me to compare Zipix to Nico. Slightly unfair. I'm putting a lot of pressure on him right now. But from what we saw from Nico earlier, I have high expectations. As Farlig is here, and he wants to take a bit of the shine himself. Can these 2 Deagles inside of the site ring out? Can they find these kills? We're about to find out. Counter smoke comes in. It's good. Zipnix, he has the line. He sees the shadow. Does the damage. Nade drop's going to take out Hobbit. And that is the first one going the way of Astralis.
Oh, Farlig, furious as ever as he comes sprinting out through the smoke. But Nathany, he replies back with the Galil. And they are in a 3 versus 4. Firepower advantage for the T's. But the CTs, they've got the battle of attrition. And they've definitely got the edge there. Oh, peek from Zip as well. Unzips onto the first man. Spam on the cross. And he's going to peek back out on this. Does get mauled by the Galil, and Config and BlameF work together to shut them down. So Astralis take the game 1-1.
And crucially, again, on that CT side, you have to buy those smokes for that A site. It is just the meta now. Teams don't even fight for long anymore. The change in middle has now meant that CTs can constantly put pressure in mid, put pressure lower, pressure off short, so they don't have to fight for long every single round where it's more of a coin flip. They give it up, and as long as you have those counter smokes for the site that you're able to drop when the Ts execute, it makes it almost impossible for them to scale up the ramp. You can see what happens. The change in the meta on this map is definitely interesting. I still think it's the worst map in the pool, but the meta change is interesting at the very least.
Weapons out for players. You've got the one scout on Shiro, and the rest of them just with the mixed bag of Deagles and Tech-9s. They've got utility as well. Oh, actually, Shiro doesn't have a gun at all.
You're so right.
See?
Oh my God,
He's just holding his hands up, David.
What is he doing? Look at him. He's just holding his hands out there.
There's nothing in his hands.
Is he gonna punch them? Is this danger zone?
Oh, I love the idea of everyone is just like, what are you talking about? He literally has a scout right there.
No, he doesn't.
There's nothing in his hands.
At least now he pulls out the smoke.
That's better than having nothing.
It's better than having nothing yet again. Here he goes. He just keeps
He's just
doing
got his
this.
thumb up.
What is going on?
Sheer shenanigans.
Oh,
all right. He's walked through the smoke with a Tech-9, but his feet are going to be seen. And BlameF stops it there. So no crazy play off the back of the Tech-9 close angle. Config with a spray, shuts down Hobbit as well. Glaive goes on to get 2 frags, and it's just Shiro, gunless.
Gunless Shiro. Can he throw bullets in their directions here? As he is going to peek out, and no, that's what happens when you don't have a gun. You peek around the corner, and a man with a gun's going to just win out on that. As Config, from deep in middle, closes out the round, and a clean round for them as well. All 5 players staying alive. The force buy from players just not working out.
That's my favorite bit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, yeah, just facts. My bad. Just facts. I did like how we both perked up as well. The second he got through the smoke, it was like, oh, actually, hang on, play.
He missed him, and then just BlameF is just standing right on the other side. He's like, oh, look at this human.
Yeah, he's seen some feet, doxed him, got the kill.
And it is just the Glocks now. Shiro did save that extra money by not buying the gun last round, so he's up to 29. Config finds the opening onto Nafany. Nade is out. Little bit of damage. Config wants more. He knows they have blocks. And you know what happens? He gets sniffing. He smells the ecos. He pushes in. BlameF with the FAMAS from up on short. Does take down Shiro. It is Axile. 1v5, and this one's doable, Jack. He just needs to land the headshots. He's swinging out top middle. Finds the dink onto BlameF. Oh, and the winnable round from Axile not coming to fruition as Config finds the headshot.
So close there. Could have been an ace. Dangerously tight stuff with just the Glock. Oh, look at the coach reaction as well.
He realizes how much danger they were in that moment.
Knows how scary it could
And
be.
he's laughing it off. If he doesn't laugh, he'll cry.
Mm-hmm. But those are the formality rounds kind of out of the way now. And this is where the game should begin anew, as the actual buy will be pulled out for players. You've got the AWP on Shiro, everyone else with the rifles. And early on, a fight coming out towards long once more. This time around, Zip, stationed towards the car. He's going to be holding it. He does back off. There's a whole crate of flashbangs goes off in front of him.
Yeah, and he does have to fall back. They do have 3 smokes now for this play, but you can see the reaction from Astralis, and this is just such good CS. As soon as the long take comes out, they push into upper B, they smoke off T-spawn, and now that's going to allow them to rotate heavily over to the A site. They already have 3 people here. Glaive is making his way over. Once Config picks up middle here in lower, now Glaive should be able to push up. Spamming the door. If he heard any sound cues, Config would have known there was a man behind it. And now this is just going to be the 4-man A stack as the nades are coming out. But players, they're not scaling yet. Config's pushed up, and he needs to get this timing right. If he goes too early, the flank is done.
Boost onto the site for Glaive. He's going to go up on short. The smokes come over, and Zip has the pin pulled on the HE. Glaive backing him up as well, so it's the double nade that falls in. Damage done. Clear onto the site, but it's a huge whiff from Hobbit.
Oh. Config got spotted on the flank as well, but he spotted out the CT, and the counter nades from Astralis, absolutely perfect. 30 seconds left. Shiro now has to scale, has to try to do something. Config spams out Nafany. That's the kill going his way. And now what can they do? And that is a good flick from Shiro, but it still might be too little too late. 2 versus 5 now. Inter's gonna plant the bomb. Are they gonna let him get it down? Just 4 HP on him. They drop into CT and he doesn't land the flick, but he is still alive. They swing and another miss. That's not gonna be it. It's gonna be all that she wrote. Inter's can't find anything. Shiro missing the flicks. And it is gonna be Astralis again, picking up another round here on the CT side.
Getting themselves an early lead on the CT side of Dust 2. Seems like there has been a call for a pause as well. You can see the admin getting involved there. So now the coach giving his input to the players' roster.
Excuse me, Shiro. You are gonna have to buy weapons on those rounds. You can't just not have a gun. You're not allowed to use your hands in Counter-Strike.
He's just like, what do you mean? What are you on about?
Yeah, the PGL admins have been alerted, and he's gonna be spoken to about this.
Yeah. Now, look, we saw you just kind of holding your thumbs out with nothing in your hands. It was looking a bit worrying. The money disappeared. We don't know where that went, but you didn't have a gun.
This isn't Danger Zone. You can't do this.
No, if anything, it's just a bit silly.
And he is going to go for the hero AK buy now. The rest of the team, only the half investment. And because of how much they've invested in this, if they don't get the bomb down, I don't think Shiro's going to be able to bring out Nop next round. Well, obviously, he's not going to be able to buy one regardless, but someone on his team without the bomb plant could be a problem. But because they have enough for all the extra armor, Shiro just goes for the hero AK, and they can keep recycling it if they need to. They're hoping he's going to be able to find the openings, as they are leaning heavily over towards the B-bomb site. Molotov comes out to clear the right side, and the response from players is to just walk towards middle. They have all the utility for the short execute.
Blame F. He's waiting for push to come to shove so that he can strike back with the M4. Has the nade as well. He's going to dash that out, and that is a hefty one. About 120 damage distributed between the T's, and Farlig in a position to hit the head as well. Ooh, Nafany hits the frag onto Config. He's now grabbed his AK, but there's an instant trade back from Blame, and it all comes down to the 4v4. Axel gets the bomb plant off just as he takes a ton of damage from the HE. But this is not looking cozy at all.
No, the saving grace for players here is they do still have Shiro up inside of the site with the HP. I say that, the nade falls right on top of them, and the HEs from Astralis doing so much damage, and Shiro with the AK not able to find anything. It is just Farlig, Zip, and Blame F. They walk up, they land all the kills, and Astralis pick up their 5th. The HE damage there from Blame F and CT Spawn was absolutely massive.
The utility damage alone into that round basically won them it.
Yeah.
You know, the opening HE does like 120 damage. We see consistent utility damage coming in throughout the course of the round. One by one, it just meant they were all on like 5 HP. So a single bullet from the M4 takes them down. And Astralis, now, they've won 5 rounds on the spin after losing the opening round here against players. Config 10-2 as well.
Yeah, that last round, I thought he may have trolled it a little bit when he went running through that CT smoke and died. But in the end, MF was able to trade it back, drop all that HE damage, and it worked out perfectly fine for him. And they've built up quite a big bank now, too. It's going to be hard for players to actually reset the economy. They're going to have to win 3 or 4 gun rounds in a row before they push Astralis onto the save.
Glaive with a HE. Throws that one into upper tunnels. And slows down the T's somewhat. Trader smokes, and Farlig playing on the shocks angle with the AWP. Molotov exchanged as they turn the heat up on either sides of the angle.
Now they're making their way out middle. They have a ton of utility. The execute should be fine here with the mid to B play. You can see he's looking for another HE. There's the mid to B smoke. Molly behind it as well to cut the rotations. Blame F drops his Molly, but it is just a little bit late. There's already one man who's made it past it. That's Nafany. But look at the play from the T's. They're everywhere. They're just 1-1-1 across the whole map right now. Axile should find the push. Oh, Zip, he runs away. He doesn't go for the aggressive push. And it is just Glaive. He's by himself, and he is surrounded.
Oh, Hobbit on the peek out. He gets obliterated by that AK. And now the round is in fairly dastardly territory. Just 20 seconds left, and Glaive reveals himself towards the B site. The AWP scoped in, but Axile's in the back line. He spams his way through two of them, and it all goes down to Blame F, who can't stand to fight against Axile. Huge flank there. Massive shutdown into the round, and players finally get another one on the board. It looked dicey, though. That was not clean.
No, that late long play from Axile is what ends up saving them.
Even the cameraman's like, oh my God.
It's just crazy.
He's going to rush over there.
He has to. He absolutely has to. It's like he was worried too.
Yeah.
It's like he wasn't watching the flank. Nobody was.
He was watching mid.
Yeah. Tag, again, Dust 2 moment. Ashiro tags Glaive down to just 30 HP. But again, the money for Astralis is so solid. They're able to buy into this one. Double ops as well, but he's going to pass that over to Glaive after the tag. So Config trades him out. He's like, this is fine. No problem, man. You can have it. Glaive, he is worried about the player on that right side, and rightfully so. Hobbit now, going to smoke himself off. He's not going to swing. He knows there could potentially be an op in this position. Flash is going to come in again, and right now, Glaive doesn't know if Hobbit's left or not. So he can't hold the line because the smoke will cover any close peek, and he doesn't know if Hobbit's already crossed to the left side, and if he did, then he could potentially die. So he has to fall back. Good little trade of utility there in the B tunnels, and now the retake towards long comes out because of it. Again, Astralis, they don't have mid control. They weren't able to get control of upper B, so they have to rotate off, and that is a shot that Glaive probably should have hit.
Blame F with a Molotov prime towards the ramp. His steal is about to be tested here, as the T's are pushing up. 16 in the clip and 1 in the hole. Blame F, is he about to make some bodies turn cold? Dashes the Molotov. Hobbit, he tucks in behind Gandalf. There's a first pick towards middle as well, and here comes Zip as he finds the header. Hobbit, Blame, battles back against Inters as well. 8 HP on Nafany, not in a great spot to really punish against this. Farlig's low as well, he's just on 15. Axile makes his move up onto the bomb site, and here's the backstab on long once again.
No!
Awkward spray, he goes down, it's all on Shiro, he misses the flick. 1v2, the USP will finish him. How on earth has this happened?
Farlig, I think, hit the jumping no-scope on the site at the exact moment that Nafany completely fluffs his flank. He had the perfect play. It was the huge moment, the perfect kill right there. Look at that. Oh, that's just tragedy. He barely even hit him. I think 1 bullet. And Zip can't believe his luck when he spins around. And I'm pretty sure Farlig inside of the site there hit the jumping no-scope from CT.
What is going on in this matchup? Astralis have heard everything everyone's been saying about their Dust 2, and they've said, you know what? We are going to come out full swing, full confidence. And players, they're giving them opportunities into these rounds that never should happen, Davey.
No, never. And one thing we do have to say is that this is the CT side of Dust 2, and it is still early in the half. But the one thing that is working for Astralis is this bank that they've built up. They've had to eat into it a little bit, but even if they lose 1, they're not reset, right? And that's what's huge. And now, Nafany, he's up short, and he's not going to... Oh, look at that. That's just a free kill. Farlig, not aware of it, not looking towards short. 3 teammates towards middle, and this is just going to have to be the save for Astralis as players pick up their third, and they need to hold on to these guns. I know they have decent bank. I've been saying it. You know, they have the money, but you still don't want to be throwing things away for free. Oh.
Players, they want this round and they want to stop the potential save from Astralis if they can. So the rotate's coming around. It looked like there was going to be a fight towards upper tunnels, but Glaive doesn't overcommit. He's got the smoke, so if there is any contact, he can drop that and at least try and burn the additional time off the clock to make sure they save their weapons. Config's watching CT as well. They're taking a couple of taps out, trying to bait the T's to peek. But it does seem like they'll get through the round with a free weapon save, the free kits, and the utility. So they can buy back up around that save.
they do get the double ops out again. Just that little bit of money being held on to from Glaive and Zip. Farlig, of course, down to just the 100 as he did have to buy into that double op. Molotov towards top middle. Shiro goes in, doesn't land the tag, but he wants more, and he's just missing his shots today. So far on this Dust 2 game, Shiro uncharacteristically missing some kills that you would expect him to get. The re-peek from Config as well doesn't actually spot him as he's walking up short. Suspects there might be a player close to the door. The flash is in. It is going to full blind him. He knows where he is, and he tucks away, and he's coming forward. He wants more. He's in the open, lands the tag onto Axile, but that's all he's going to find.
Nafany waiting for the rotate, takes so much damage on the face, but still gets the frag on Config. A critical kill to secure. And Glaive, can he secure the defense at the B site? Says goodnight to Axile. Oh, shot through the smoke as well, as Hobbit is now headless.
Just not a great play from players there. When the player decides to commit through the smoke, I don't remember who it was the low man though, and he decides to jump through the smoke to try to bait for you to come in and get the trade, and nobody committed off the back of it. Shiro had the op, so he didn't want to go through. And it was just, they got smoked off. They knew they had a timing in B where there was just one man there. But even still, it was just a bad commit. Because the player who was out middle, Nafany, after he gets the kill onto Config, he doesn't have a smoke for CT. So he can't scale mid to B. So you're trying to just run out upper B through a smoke. With that much time left, it's just a little unnecessary. It's cost them the round. Astralis are going to pick up their 7th. 4 players alive means that they get to keep that as much money as possible in the situation. And Shiro again, he's just not on it in this Dust 2 game. He's going for these flicks, and he just hasn't been able to find, and he's missed a lot of shots. Honestly. It's a surprising amount of shots have been missed.
Yeah, and you can't afford to have him slowing down. After getting the upset win on Ancient, a map that we know Astralis can be so dominant on, you're coming into Dust 2, where Astralis haven't won a game here in quite some time. And now it looks like maybe they actually have a chance, because some of the names that need to step up for players, they've cooled off. They've lost the heat that they had. I do like the fact they're going to take a tactical pause, though, at least.
Yeah, it's a good time to take attack. This is their second one of the game. They're down 7-3, but they still are able to get the buyout. It's not the end of the world. You pick up, even for them at this point, you're like, all right, even if we get 2 more, 10-5, then we go to the CT side and we win that pistol, we potentially make it 10-8. It's a close game. The map's CT-sided. The game is CT-sided. Like, we're fine. They're not in panic mode yet. The way they've lost some of these rounds is not ideal, but yeah, they're definitely they're not quite panicking yet. This game is still close. Oh, damage towards top middle as well. Blame F goes aggressive, finds the tag onto Nafany, down to 48 HP. The counter nade for the mid rush is out, but nobody's there. And what is this? Hobbit, he's gonna get a free kill onto Zip. He's caught out of position on the ramp.
Hobbit hits the back of Zip. And there's a hold towards upper tunnels as well, but it seems like a bold peek from Farlig that he will be able to flick onto. That's 2 kills on the AWP now, going back for even more. He wants to mop them up like a spilt drink, but they recoil round the corner. Meanwhile, Nafany, he's fighting at middle, and there's an awkward 1-for-1 trade where Farlig still continues on his AWP tirade. He's had 3 kills into the round, and it's all on Inters in the 1v3. Minute on the clock, he's back up towards top middle.
And he was spotted by Glaive as well, so that Molotov will be dropped, and Glaive now is going to rotate over, gets spotted again. The jump spot from Glaive, just getting all the information as Inters is going forward, and now Glaive is pushed forward, but Inters actually wins out on that. Only tagged once. What's going to happen? It's going to be Farlig from mid, through the door, lands the headshot. 4 on the round for him, shutting down the long play, and then rotating all the way over to mid to finish it off.
Farlig and Furious, Dust 2 drift.
As players immediately going to take their 3rd tack. They're using these up early. They are going to be on the half buy here. And this was their map pick, and what a weird game.
Yeah. What a very weird game of CS we've been having here on Dust 2. These rounds have been so unpredictable. And a lot of it's just been down to individual skill ceiling, really.
Yeah. a lot of aggression and weird timings and just freaky stuff.
It's also odd that obviously the point in the series now where Shiro goes on snooze, Farlig has completely woken up.
Yeah.
Short fight. Blame F.
Okay.
Goes down to Hobbit. Tech9's going to get that kill. Glaive. He tries to lock it down, but the 1-for-1 trades are coming in all across the place. And that is actually 2 kills now for Axile into the round. So the CTs don't have much to work with. Just Zipex and Farlig left alive. And they might just have to save this, really.
Yeah, the hero AK from Axile just coming up massive. Gets 2 entries on the B site. First one he finds is config towards back plat. Just one taps him as he swings. Just like, well, all right then. Immediately gets the trade on Glaive. You're just like, well, okay. B site taken. Players, of all the rounds to win, that's the one. They pick up their 4th. Astralis now forced to save this. The 3 kills from the previous round means, again, that, you know, like I was saying, they do have money to buy when they lose, but they not for much longer.
Yeah.
Not for much longer. These guns are going to need to be dropped. Config's going to need to drop. Glaive is going to need to drop. You see they're at 48 and 44. So Zip and Farlig are going to be able to pass the guns over. They'll keep some money in the bank again, but if they lose the next one, they're just going to be broke.
Okay, so Shiro's pulling the AWP back out once more as well.
Yeah.
I hope we get to see some impact from him on it. For his own sake and for players as well. If he can wake up again, it could change the tide of the game. He does go for the early boost towards mid, but not going to find any tag or kill there.
No. Nothing found. And that's the thing about oppers, man. You have to be kind of a weirdo to be an opper because you have to have rounds where you miss a shot or you should have got a kill and your team loses the round. And then you still have to be willing to be like, okay, but give me the up again. Let's
do
go.
it again.
You know?
Yeah,
exactly. You have to be just a little ill to be an opper. Just a bit of a weirdo.
That's why they're a dying breed in the game at the minute, and it's a shame to see. Shout out to AWPers everywhere.
They're like goalkeepers in football, you know? You have to, so much pressure on you, you have to be just totally okay with accepting all the pressure. As right now, Astralis not wanting to accept this pressure up short as the T's, they're scaling into sight, but it's one of those situations where they just have to accept it. They've played heavy in CT spawn. They've left 1 man over towards long, that's Zip, and the 4-man retake in CT, and Shiro's got to be worried about getting nade stacked here. At least got to be crossing his mind. This time it's not going to come out. It's just a 5-on-5 retake.
Oh, nade off the wall, lots of damage done. Nafany spamming through the smoke, hits the head of Config and takes him down. Glaive, he's able to find a frag back at the very least, and Inter is just lining up all the tasty treats until Blame F hits 1. And that's all they get. 2 kills against players into the round, so the 14th. Now, with an 8-5 split, Astralis with a slight edge, but the money running dry.
That smoke that was on the CT ramp, that was thrown by Astralis. And all it did was help players. I wonder if that was supposed to land higher up the ramp, because it landed almost on the top of the ramp, but it was still on the incline. Whereas if it landed all the way at the top, then they could have scaled through it and fought long in ramp without having to worry about being shot in the back. But because it didn't go high enough, they just did get shot from elbow the whole time. So I think maybe it was a missed smoke. It just didn't go high enough. That's my hypothesis anyways.
Okay, so players really wanting to get a grasp on the 14th round here up against just the pistols. Are doing a good job. Blame F will be able to at least keep Nafany barge pole's distance, but Hobbit wins out with 2 kills on short. Shiro goes running into middle. Blame F's out of ammo, and Hobbit gets the hat trick, taking the game 8-6.
And unlucky for Shiro, he found 2 kills in that round, but right at the end we get to watch him miss again.
Yeah.
It's just the way she goes sometimes, bud. It's just the way she goes.
It's just unlucky.
But at least they pick up the round. So now players on their map pick finally starting to string some together here on the T side. The score is 8-6. If players make this 8-7, that is considering where they were and the pressure they were under by Astralis, that is a massive round. There's a massive score line for them. Nafany dropping the Molotov to clear out close middle. Axile spotted the push. You can see he's calmed it over. Very calmly, though. Just like, yeah, one close long.
Upper control being taken by Glaive. Nades pulled towards long. Player in the pit, one towards plat. And they're actually just pushing out on upper. They do flash clear on short, but so much map control has been taken by the CT, so they're ready for this aggression out on long. Nade's going to be exchanged. Axile looking for the head. Zip's burning alive, so he backs up towards the bottom of pit and can't quite help out his teammate. Config is flanking, and Blame F, he opens it up. Axile gets 2 and completely capitalizes on the round. Missed shot from Farlig, you gotta hit that!
And again, players, it's Axile going aggressive up long. The flank is here, though. Config can still ruin the party, but that one Shiro won't miss. The 180-degree flick landing onto Config, and this should be the 7th round for players. Glaive is going to go down as well as Inters is lurking top mid. So that is going to be 7 players. They clawed it back. They brought it as close as they could. 8 to 7 half now when they go into their CT side, and that ends up being a great half for them.
Damn. Wow, okay. Tremendous half there. Lot of crazy rounds, down to individual performance time and time again. Some rounds that swung on a dime. Some missed shots and some crazy hits from either team. So an 8-7 half here in this best of 3. It's the second map in the series. Ancient was picked up 16-13 by players. Dust 2 is their map pick. If they can win it here, they stamp their ticket to the PGL Major in Antwerp. If Astralis win, we go to Inferno and we'll have a fresh 30 rounds to decide which team goes to the Major and which team has to battle back here in the RMR. Shiro battling towards middle with the P2K, pops the brain of Farlig, doubles back, looking for more, slain on the stairs as Config wins out with a Glock.
And the flank on short, it was spotted, so they're going to turn, and Config hits those 180 degrees. They spin, they're finding him, and he is going to drop. Hobbit in lower, though. He's answering back. He's ringing out these shots. He lands one, and they're all about to swing him at once. The 3-man swing, and they are going to go into B. But Axile, he's here in CT. Oh, it's getting close, but no, Astralis. They pick up the second half pistol on their T side. They start off the half, finally shutting down that round streak that players was on.
You needed the pistol. Config absolutely whips them into shape with his Glock. And players looking a little bit frustrated. Whereas Astralis, they're coming alive. The classic buy, though, from the CTs. You get the Scout on Axile. Everyone else with a 5.7s and a CZs. One Deagle thrown in for good measure as well. And Farlig, he's got a Scout of his own. He's looking for that opening tag towards middle. Who's going to be able to have some impact on the bolt action?
Oh, Nafany trying to push into long, but there is a man there waiting. He says, no, no, no. You cannot do that. Nade, actually, that was so good from Glaive. He heard the nade bounce and immediately dropped off the box so he didn't take any damage. That's quick thinking right there.
Slow round from Astralis, and this is 17th. Just under a minute on the clock. As they are grouping up with 4 players on short. Blame F holding towards upper tons. Bit of a stack over towards Goose, 4 players. It's a 2-player setup so they can bait for one another, but a utility is being thrown out. And Glaive's going to go on a hero mission, just runs in, looking like a kamikaze to see if he can find some frags with this Mac 10.
Scouts posted on the cross, and there's 2 in Goose as well. Bomb going A here is going to be a problem. Nafany swings. Now that might have been a little bit too obvious. Hello, Farlig, with the Glock. Headshot found. The Deagle from Shiro needs to find one more. It can't. Farlig again with the Glock. Gets his second of the round. Third of the round even. He's got all 3. And Blame F finds Inters in middle. And players, they had a good bait setup, they had a good play, but it just didn't pay off. I think that the swing from Goose was just a little too obvious of a bait. They're like, why would the Goose player do this? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
God damn. The kill through the smoke, though, with the Glock.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's a double gush.
Yeah, that was a crazy frag. And now, in the grand scheme of the game, Astralis is going to be leading 10-7.
Look at the scoreboard for Astralis. 12-8, 12-8, 12-8, 12-8.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've seen that. Now, of course, Blame F ruins it, but we got to experience it before
Just
he did.
for a second.
Yeah.
Got to enjoy it.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, that's pretty cool.
4 people with the just exact same score.
The mirror matchup.
Like this late into a game too. Like, yeah, maybe after like 2 rounds or something, but not.
Oh, and it was the Glock burst as well. Farlig.
You love a Glock burst.
Looking like a real gangster. I do, man. You got to hit him with the triple bullet now and then. Show him who's boss.
So it is going to be the eco now for players. Nafany has some flashes. He bought a smoke as well, I think, at the beginning of that one. Threw it for the cross so they don't get the information. So it is going to be the short stack. Now with these 2 flashes, they're going to want to all group up and have Nafany just flash as they cross and hope they can swing out and find just any amount of kills.
Nade pulled. Dashed out. Little bit of damage done, but they're on a bomb site. And they want to blow them out of it. Config hitting heads. Splits them open with a blunt force trauma. Blame F going to get one off onto Hobbit as well. Zip comes into the round and shines against Shiro. Diving through the smoke. Nafany takes one. And Config, his eyes just filled with rage, kills his teammate there to make sure they shut the game down, as they will pick up that round.
That ends up being 2 deaths for Astralis too, because he got 1 before he died, and then Config killed his teammate. So that's 2 rebuys. That actually could have a that actually could be significant, because Zip is down to 200 now. Farlig 1850, Glaive at 2K. If they lose this, they can't buy next round. Only Blame F and Config would be able to buy. The score is 11-7. The jiggle peek here from Nafany, and he's baiting for the player close middle, but it's not going to be enough. It's perfect. They go running out mid with just their nades, and Hobbit gets 2. Zip eventually trades him, but still, Astralis running out mid. They don't clear close right.
Hobbit the hatchet was there. Cuts down Config and Glaive. And Astralis, they've got to dial back the tempo now. Slow down the round being a disadvantage. 1:15 on the clock. Farlig with the AWP in the back pocket, playing around Zip and Blame F as they take short control. Shiro, he's stationed towards the car, but can he bonnet them when they come running up into his domain?
That is the big question. We were talking about he hasn't had a great game so far today on Dust 2. The Slurk smokes come out, flashes to push him off, more flashes. Yeah, he has to fall all the way back now. He's not going to be able to take the fight towards site. He has to give up the plant. It's just the way it is. Good utility usage from Astralis. And now, actually, Farlig going aggressive. He jumps up, and he's able to find the kill. Lots of damage done onto Blame, as it is answered back, but now it's the 1 versus 2, and it's just Zip in the site.
Oh, so much damage done onto Inters, but he wins out against Zip there. He wanted to put his crown back on his head and be the clutch king, but instead it will be around 4 players as they pick that up. Getting vocal now as well, getting animated. Hobbit. He had so much impact towards middle. The fact he got away with both of those frags. The jump spot from Nafany as well. It looked like that was going to be a tasty little double for him.
Whew, that would have been
very
tasty. And now, they did get the bomb down, which helps them out a little bit. So Config and Blame can get the hero AKs while everyone else saves. But even still, it's only 1,900 bonus for this next round. Like right now, they just got 14. It's only 1,900 for next round, so they've invested a lot into this. Because at only 1,900, your buy's not even going to be good in the next one, and they just want to pop into B. Inters does get caught, but his teammate's there. Nafany is there to make sure he gets the first frag onto Config, and the jump is perfect. Glaive jumps around the corner, and that is how you entry into a site.
That's how you lock down a B site as well, though. As Nafany, he takes a stab in the dark through the window. Zip He's able to spray back. Farlig with a furious tap onto the head of Hobbit as well. And Shiro is slain. All on Axile in the 1v3 to do something insane with the M4. Jumps up towards the window, looking to stab them in the back. They're going to turn their attention to him. They know exactly where he is. He grabs the orb. Posted on the angle. Is he poised to punish against Farlig? No, he walks in. Sprays with the AK. Grabs the AWP back for himself and takes the 12th round by force for Astralis.
And players there, I don't even mind when you're going for that retake if you just throw bodies at the site. It's not bad, but you do need to go in with the flashes. When the rotations are coming in, you need to be throwing those flashes over the wall and just sending people into the site. But they need to be doing it together. You need players going through the door smoke, players going through window. You can't have just one man, one by one, walking through the window and hoping that it works. And most of the time, it's not going to. Throwing bodies at a retake isn't a problem. Just the way they did it was just not great. That is the issue. So now they take their final tack pause. That was it. It's done. They have no more left. They've used them all early. They're down 12-8. They are going to go for the save here. The 24 bonus means that they're going to be able to buy up into the next one if they do save. So it is just the eco. Nafany has the light armor, same with Axile. Some deeks being brought out. And the aggression towards upper B. Nafany actually finds config. The nade is going to be big. BlameF should be able to clean up as he gets the triple spray with the M4. And Shiro is tucked away behind the car. Can he do something amazing? Can he give them the miracle that they need? He can't land the second eagle shot. Zip gets away with it.
Little bit of damage. But no major impact. And Hobbit, that is a big impact as the bullet shatters him coming out of the barrel of Glaive's gun. And Astralis gunning for match point now. 13 secured on the T side of Dust 2. Players only with 8 in the bank. Money in the bank, no, as the guns will be coming back out. Shiro's on the AWP. The rest of them rocking with the M4s. Not a kit in sight, though.
No. Not a kit in sight. They don't have that money. They make sure they get all the utility. They're doing a late long control, and the question is, are they actually going to commit to this? They're all just sort of standing in no man's land. There's the counter flash. It's perfect. It does full blind him. Axile gets across, and they don't know. BlameF didn't see him. So that is the opening pick going the way of players. Now Config tries to respond. He wants to lurk out middle, but he's just not sure. They don't have enough information.
The rotate's coming in. Hobbit, he has been hugely impactful for players towards middle. This time, though, there's two of them going out together. Flash over the top to hold them back. That's from his teammate in window. He's got the HE, does drop it. Damage exchanged. Lot more damage done to the CTs, though. The Danes, they are in a dangerous position here. They double molly CT. Hobbit just spams his way through the smoke. There's the third Molotov. He's got all the information in the world, but they're pushing up onto B. Enters behind the back of the car. Can he hit his shot? He's dinked. He's tagged, but he frags onto the head of Glaive. Farlig trades back. Farlig falls. There's the peek into the side from Config, but he has to go back for the bomb.
And that is the main problem. There is still that lurk towards top middle. It's going to be Zip finding the kill on Axile. Now they know Config's isolated. They know he's by himself, and he just swings out across the scaffolding, and he drops, and there's the shot from Shiro. So players pick up their 9th, and Config, I'm not really sure what happened with him there. He just sort of jumped off the scaffolding and died to the CT guys. Maybe he thought the smoke was still up? I don't know.
He just kind of peeked.
Yeah, but it wasn't even like a peek to fight.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't peeking out thinking, oh, I'm going to shoot the guy CT. He was just like, I'm going to get the bomb now. It's like, well, you can't, can you? It's
quite far away,
Yeah,
actually,
it's pretty far, and there's like opponents there who want to stop you from doing it. I think he must have thought the CT smoke was still up because he didn't peek out.
Potentially, yeah. It's anything that kind of would have made sense more so of why he went for it.
Yeah. It's literally the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So Dust 2, still raging on here. No real clear-cut winner in sight. Players, they're looking like they could make this comeback happen.
Oh, yeah. They're on the CT side of their map pick.
They're hitting their shots as well. Especially if Shiro starts finding lots of impact with that AWP, man. Things could change quickly.
Yep, absolutely. And there's lots of things for you to do on CT side with the AWP as well. On Dust 2, you know? There's just a whole bunch you can do. Config has the scout. is actually really good with the weapon. Glavy's like, I was going to waste my smoke by putting that out just to scare them. And then he's like, actually, this smoke is probably more useful elsewhere. As Zip... Did that nade just not do any damage to him? It put him down to just 12. Oh, and look at the aggression from Axile. What a play. As soon as he hears Zip walk away, and that's going to be the free kill. Second one towards top mid. Does get tagged by the scout, but it commits to the spray. 67 damage onto Config, but the kill going the way of the Dane. So Astralis now, 4 versus 4. They answer back. There is an AK down to his left if he wants it.
Four versus 4. T's just holding to see if there is any re-aggression from players. For them, they've run dry. Apart from the 2 nades, the 1 smoke, and the flashbang. Inters has the kit. And it could come in handy. Time going down to the wire as well. 40 seconds on the clock as they walk back out towards middle. But the CTs are grouping up with a 2-man setup on B. So 2 towards the site. Shiro watching short with the AWP.
Yeah, they're just going for the 2-2. And the question is, it is going to be the short play. Okay. They have the utility for it, but only 1 flash is actually a problem because you're not going to be able to force Shiro off twice, right? There's like 3 angles you need to push him off of. With only 1 flash, they're not going to be able to. He's going to cross the ramp, and that's a bold call, but he wants to take this fight early. Molotov is going to land behind him, and now they're here. They're crossing. He lands the first. Can he get any more? He's still tucked away on the ramp. There is 1 lurk towards middle. That's Blame. He finds the kill. Now they're rotating in. Hobbit's here at long. It's him and Shiro. They need to come up massive. Hobbit with the headshot, but who wins out inside of the site?
Glaive looking for the fight towards ramp. Shiro switches off the AWP. He starts to back up to try and get a better line of sight to do some damage. Sees the head, fires off the warning shot, grabs the AK, but he's left for dead as Glaive hits it. And it's all on Inters in the 1v2. He's got the kit. He's pushing up towards the ramp. The angle's being covered as Glaive gats him in the back. And they get it. So focused, so invested into the game now as they keep it tight on Dust 2.
And the ultimate battle in that round came down to Shiro versus Glaive inside of the A site. The winner was going to be the one who won the round for their team. If Shiro picked that one up, there was just going to be no way for the last remaining T as Blame F on short to win that round. He didn't have the utility. Op would have been posted on him. Astralis, they go to 14. If they win this map, that would be a massive upset, and we would be going to map 3 of Inferno.
Four Famases and 1 scout. That's what the cavalry have got here for players. That's what the buy is looking like. And Axile, he might be burnt alive. Problem is, the Molotov won't spread onto him.
No.
He can stay tucked in.
And will they clear it? That's the ultimate question. Axile, if he just tucks, trigger discipline. Oh, he wishes he had an M4 right now. The swing out, there it is, the counter flash. It's actually Hobbit who finds it. He still has the smoke to keep himself alive as well. Farlig is going to answer onto Shiro, but the flank is already coming.
Axile, wanted to do more damage on the Famas, but instead, it's Nathany in the back, sprays onto Blame F, leaves it down to Glaive and Farlig.
Oh, he sees him. Oh, he doesn't get it, though. He doesn't land the shot. He shoots just a little bit too early, doesn't find the damage. And now Astralis with 40 seconds, they're worried. They want to fall back. Glaive is clearing the flank, and he realized there's nobody here. Players is committed to A, and Glaive could just run it all the way down through middle and cut these rotations.
The smokes keeping players so heavily focused here on the A site. Glaive set up for the rotation. The bomb's been picked up. But they're starting to catch whiff that maybe something's run amok. The Molotov towards short will give up the goose. Has he seen a head of Glaive? Doesn't seem like it. Drops down, and that's the trade. Opening pick, back in favor of Astralis. 10 seconds, but they're isolated. If they can kill the bomb planter, that might be a round dead and gone. They take him down. 4 seconds left. Glaive, he can't win the round.
No, that's it. He's done. He can't get in. Now, can he just survive? He's going to run out of time, and he is going to make it. They are just going to grab the op. And Farlig, I got to point out, Just a mistake from him there to even go for that bomb plant. You know they're going to run at you. You know that they know you're by yourself. He has to make the play running into the site. It's exactly what he does. He sprints through the window. If Farlig had just recognized what the CT's win condition was, potentially gives himself a chance to land that shot on the player closing down on him. Instead, he tries to tap the bomb, and he ends up going down. And I thought Glaive had the round-winning play when he was lurked out middle, but he doesn't.
It looked like it. It looked like they had found the fix to a very messy round and been able to piece it back together. Players made themselves famous with those famises, though. Huge sprays, great positions. In the end, it goes down to the dicey plant on the B site, and players, they've got the game so close, Davey. This one is incredibly back and forth here in the second map in the best of 3.
And it all started with a missed Molotov. It just didn't spread. They Molotov the car. It doesn't spread to the corner. When you throw that Molotov that lands on the car, there is always the chance that it doesn't spread to the corner. You have to clear it. The Molotov, it clears out anybody playing behind the car, which is great to know, but you still have to clear that corner. There's never a 100% guarantee that it does spread. They don't clear it. They end up losing. And if that is the reason, if that's the catalyst for players to make this comeback, that would just be unbelievably tragic for Astralis. As now, we're back into this round. Glaive has the hero AK. He's already tagged down to 13 HP. He's inside of the pit. And what is going to happen here? They're all set up. Counter smoke is ready, close tunnels. But he's by himself. There's 4 CTs over at A, and the bomb is sitting outside of B tons.
25th round of the game. A very important round for Astralis and players is commencing. But I'm going to be dropped back onto Farlig, and they're wrapping back round. Seems like they're going to be setting their focus to group up and potentially make a play out onto the A site. Glaive, he's still in pit. Dangerously low though. 13 HP. A single tag could eliminate him. And Shiro, he's on the site with the AWP. Short control has been established by Axile as well.
And there's Hobbit actually finding the pick onto Glaive. That's the AK down, and that smoke from Config. That must have been a miss smoke. Axile's here. He's close on short. The jump out. The triple FAMAS spray down, and that is all she wrote. All 5 players staying alive. 14-11 now. They're starting to build up this economy. And Astralis, man, they're in trouble.
Yeah, it's getting dangerous now. This game has been so back and forth. And in rounds like this, it's when it matters most. 1 away from match point. 2 away from taking the second map at Dust 2. Pushing us to Inferno and giving us a level playing field for both of these teams to make it to the PGL Major in Antwerp. For players, they're going to want to pick up the pieces, bring the game to 12-14 and take it round by round on their CT side. Shiro has the AWP towards middle. Flash to hold him back. He's looking for that opening pick.
And there's no AWP for the T side. It is just the scout on Farlig. Zywoo smoke coming out. It's going to land on the hinge, which just means that, you know, sometimes if the T throws the smoke from close on the door... Oh, did he miss it? He missed it. See? That's the risk. See? Okay, I've seen players miss that with the scout. Now, I'm not saying that the scope is different. All I'm saying is I don't see players miss it with the AWP. But when someone has... And I don't mean players the team, I just mean players in general.
In general.
Yeah, that's a team name.
Branding.
But yeah, but when someone has a scout and they do it, I've seen it miss. So I don't know if there's like a difference between the 2 scopes. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying. It's anecdotal evidence.
Something to keep an eye on. Players, they need to keep an eye on short. And Hobbit, he's got the Molotov primed and ready. He'll dash out a fiery delight if the push comes out. Molotov's exchange. One going to land on the bomb site as well. He sees the head of Glaive, but Glaive gushes him down. And mid-control is being taken. Astralis swarming their way out into the B site. Molotov going to be thrown towards upper tons. Zip gets the shot into the back of Inters. Oh, no! Nafany! He flicks off thinking he'd got the kill. It all gets a bit messy. Config takes him down, and there's only 2 CTs left alive. Astralis, they've got match point in the palm of their hand.
Just a comedy of errors from players right there. First, the missed shot towards A allows just the opening pick goes the way of Glaive. Then there on the B hold, the player playing close tunnels. When the B split's coming out and your window player spots it, he's mollying tunnels for you. Why are you swinging and fighting in tunnels? Hold the doors. That is what you have to look at now. Yeah, I know you're in a bad spot. Sucks. You still have to hold the door now. You have the crossfire. Just, honest, just, ugh.
Weird round. Weird round, man.
Not good.
No, not at all. And that's scary, because now for players, if your win condition was you want to shut this down in 2 maps and go to the PGL Major off the back of besting Astralis here in the best of 3s, well, then you might just have to wait and do it on Inferno, because Astralis, they've got match point. 4 rounds of buffer to make mistakes here. And all they need is 1 round to close it down and split the series 1-1.
And this was not expected. We did expect in the pregame, we did expect map 3, but we didn't expect Astralis losing Ancient and players losing Dust 2. That's not what we expected.
We didn't think it would be the trade of map picks. We thought it would be each team winning their respective pick and pushing us to Inferno because of that. This is a bit of a different story. Into the 27th round, though, the first play is Axile finding an initial frag against Zipex. And the T's, they begin to group up back towards long.
Yep, and there's the Molotov again. That one will spread to the corner. They can see it. Immediately smoked off by the player inside of sight. Now that's crucial because they keep dropping that smoke. Now that means Astralis has to keep using Molotovs to clear that out. Once the smoke fades, they have to throw another one, and then, blah, 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 blah. Instead, they're not even going to bother with that. They're going to run over to B, and the only player there holding it down right now is Nafany at the top of the lower stairs.
Nafany needs to do something naughty with this M4 and silence the aggression from the T's. He's posted up on the angle. He's ready to deal the damage. They don't clear it. They walk in. They give him the frag. And he does a lot of damage as well. Config brought down to just 9 HP. They cancel it. They wanted to hard commit, but they call it quits instead, making their play up short. But Hobbit on a drive-by gats down Glaive. And Config's got 9 health. He's all the way back up towards T-spawn. There's 20 seconds on the clock. And players, they're licking their lips at the prospect of a 12th.
And it is going to be the 12th. Astralis can't get in. They're not going to be able to push forward. This has to be the save. And Config, he's outside of B with just 9 HP. Oh, if they go for him after time here, Jack, he might drop. That could be absolutely massive. They're not going to go for it. He's going to be able to stay alive. Doesn't have a problem. He's fine. Farlig outside of B, holds onto his gun, holds onto his nades. Config's going to be able to drop one. And will they force into it? Because they've just given up 12. If you force into this one, right, off the back of the 2 saved weapons, you force into it. If you lose it, then you give up 13, which is fine because you can eco on 13 and play for the last round. So that's exactly what they do. They force into it. 2 Galils being brought out on Zip and Glaive. Farlig relegated to just the Tech 9, saving that little bit of extra money just in case to make sure you can get that op into the very last round of the game if it gets to that point. As players, now, they find themselves back in control. Nafany took a little bit of damage there, but he's fine. He's at 56 HP. That was the early round damage. As they're just walking around in B tunnels, all 5 grouping up. Players is set up for this, but we saw they were set up for this before, and it didn't go so well for them. So Astralis hoping similar things are going to go down, as it looks like it is going to be the just classic 3-2 split on the mid B. Oh no, they're actually going to go and take short control, or fake short control at the very least. Send Glaive up there to lurk.
And this will raise an eyebrow for players. Big HE goes in towards upper tons as well. If that would have been a second later, it could have inflicted so much damage. And now they're executing out. Flashes go over the top. Shiro, he's in a window. But can he punish with a scope? Finds the first frag onto BlameF. Peeks out, near miss onto the back line there. Drops the Molotov. His teammate's close by. Config looks like he wants to push aggressively on this one, but he jumps up towards the window. Oh, is he going to peek on it? It's being held by Hobbit. They're looking for the tap. Big tag onto him. He's down to just 60 HP. 4 versus 3 on a retake. Players have the advantage, but it's never easy bombarding your way back into the B site. Smoke through the door. And they're holding. They're starting to walk their way in. Upper Tons is being watched. Farley behind the box, ready for the frag. Zip peeks out, shuts down Nathany. They need to get the trades and they're not coming in. It's not looking good as Astralis gets 16 rounds. They trade map picks. We go 1-1. And that means Inferno is where one of these teams will stamp their ticket to the PGL Major in Antwerp.
And that is not what we saw coming. That was just not expected at all. Players were heavy favorites on Dust 2, and you have to point out Shiro did kind of disappear there in the second map, especially on the T side. He was missing shot after shot, and it cost them quite a few rounds. And I do just want to say, of course, me and Prof, we did predict the Inferno, we did predict map 3, and we never changed our minds the entire time, and we always knew this was going to happen.
So true, Davey. You know, never a dull moment, never wrong, is he? Always the smartest man in the world when it comes to Counter-Strike. But as we said, that's it. We are going to be going to that third and final map. Inferno's where it's all going to unfold, where it's all going to go down. So I suppose really we just need to break this one down and see what the analysts think about that affair.
Technically correct is the best kind of correct, and just to reset, the expectation here was that if Astralis wouldn't be able to get the first map, we would most likely not go to all 3, which makes this an upset, I think, of very big proportions because of players' map pick as well. And before it, you guys actually didn't give Astralis much of a chance on Dust 2. So what did they do in order to get this win then?
Yeah, I think the CT side looked better. The B split defenses were okay. Still, I think players found a lot of success on that. I think Astralis had great starts on both halves, 5-1, 5-1. Config finding form finally for this tournament, and on the other side, some of the key players, of course, did not deliver.
Yeah, I think a first player we can talk about is Shiro. Like, he had a very good first map. He was very impactful, and we saw him on multiple occasions on their T side trying to make the difference, but either failing the shot or being completely countered by the utility for Astralis. So they did a very good job not allowing him to create that space. Now, when we move on to the second half, I feel like they've called a good T side, a very good T side, identified the issues, that B split defense, and just make the best out of it.
Yeah, I mean, Inter is also on the B defense. First map was struggling. The second map, not much better. Kind of a troublesome situation for them when you can isolate a player like that and just hit his bomb site and kind of more often than not just get into it without too much complication.
Is that something we see often from players? Not, right? Like a game where Shiro isn't really performing is not something we're used to.
I mean, for Shiro, definitely. I think even for Inters, the way he plays, sometimes he's not going to have a lot of frags, but he's going to positionally set up his teammates to have the multi-kill. For Shiro to come in time, just be a passive, just to exist on the map and not long enough for the other team to be uncomfortable. And he didn't really manage that this game.
Yeah, and I think in general, you're right. Inters is not at the top of the stats because of his roles, but he's usually good for 1 or 2 when it matters the most. It's one of these players that should be a safe bet, a safe value, and I really didn't see that in that map. If anything, he was a liability more than a security.
And of course, we will talk about Astralis a little bit as well, because I think it's kind of a shocker when you see players losing their own map pick. But on the other hand, then you said before this, we need to see a star performance out of some of the players of Astralis, and it was actually pretty uneven keel. Everyone had a good game.
Everyone. I mean, I was also wrong on so many things in this segment for this game. So but I said like Zipnik's probably not going to be the biggest fragger on the server. 21-15, amazing job from him. Config, as I said before, Glame, everyone was positive practically. Everyone was positive on the server for Astralis. That's a shocker.
Yeah, and all of them had very impactful moments. Like Glaive, I have that clutch in mind where he's on the A side, and he seems exactly incisive and decisive in how he's playing. That's not always the case with Astralis.
Farley's no scope on the A side as well.
Much better game. Yeah, wonderful. Let's break down a couple of rounds then. First off, it's one where it's actually still going pretty good for players, and I think it's a continuation of what we talked about before in terms of them being annoying within a round, Prof.
We'll see it shortly. This is just the way they kind of choke out their opponent, right? Very slow. They find a kill. They wait out. The utility to the smoke and the B tunnels to dissipate. They have a lure coming in on long, and then everything at one moment just collapses for Astralis. They attack from so many angles. We see the Exile just a beautiful, easy lurk. At the same time, the B bomb site is collapsing, and it's just a round in the bag.
That's their DNA. That's a typical players used to be GAMBIT team, of course. That's how they play Counter-Strike. They keep the whole map, and they make sure that if kill 1 doesn't fall through, then kill 2 might be a possibility, and even there's going to be a lurk behind it. So at the end, as he said, last 15 seconds, they own 95% of the map.
So the natural question would then be, if you know you're playing against players and you know they're going to be patient and have pressure over the whole map, just don't step out, I guess. But it feels so scary to do that.
Yeah, and at the highest level, I think all teams try to cheat their way into the rotation just a little bit. That's how you get that extra edge. You think the B side is going to be in jeopardy, boom, you send another player. He can be the difference maker. Players, they use that against you.
It wasn't enough, though. We want to take a look at round 20 as well, because Astralis came out on top for, or 36. Yes, we changed it. Thank you, production. 36, where actually, you know, we have to get credit to Astralis because you're still playing against the players who can still hit those shots if they need to, right? So you have to work around that.
That was a very beautiful round built and created by Astralis here, sending Glaive with the 2 smokes, making a lot of fuss towards Catwalk, but actually it's a B split, and it's completely blindsided. You can see the 2 defensive players on the B side have no idea what hit them. Astralis put the pieces in the right position, they got the kid from Glaive, and then they launched the assault on the B side.
Yeah, that's kind of how they closed out the game. The B site was in the last round as well, the bomb site of selection for Astralis. And yeah, I don't know, we also saw Shiro in that round, the last round of the half, had a couple of opportunities to have that highlight moment and to deliver, to push it to overtime potentially, but it didn't really happen. He was having a poor game overall, and a Dust 2 without your opper performing, it's always going to be difficult.
It's really annoying. So before the game, we said, okay, we want to see if Astralis can become more than the sum of their parts. How much did you feel like this win that they got on Dust 2 was them being on the same page and working a little bit more as that cohesive unit, Maniac?
Lots of positive points. Not only do we finally see, I guess, a distributed input from all of the players, which is sometimes the problem for Astralis. You would go for your blame F, your config. That's exactly how we intro Dust 2, actually. Everyone stepped up, everyone stepped in and make a difference. And also some tactical brilliance from Glaive towards the very end, finding the solution, finding the liabilities in the defense. So now, moving on to Inferno, these are very great signs for the Danish players.
Yeah, I mean, the win rates on this map for both teams in the last 3 months aren't amazing. Astralis lost 3 out of 4, but they played not as Mitsera, they played G2, right? That is pretty good teams overall. on the Gambit side, they beat teams like Godsend, Party Astronauts, lost to Movie Star Riders. It's not really too amazing for players. We don't really have a clear indication that this is like a map that they're super comfortable on.
I think the Inter situation worries me a little bit because, again, the DNA of players on Inferno is that they most of the time accept to play a 3-2 setup. So 3 players committed to the A side, 2 players committed to the B side, and guys, listen, we trust in each other, it's gonna be all right. It puts a lot of pressure on individuals to do their job because that rotation isn't being cheated their way. So Inters could be exploited. We'll see if Glaive actually makes that his plan.
It's actually funny because in the green room, I was asking you guys about kind of the moniker of the players, and you said sometimes they get flack unnecessarily for being these LAN gods, not LAN gods, but online gods, even though they have actually performed also on LAN. Is this creeping in again? Is this going to open up the mouths again of the people who say, see, I told you so? In that regard, it's a very important best of 1 for them.
I think definitely if they lose here, it will be more centered on Astralis being on an upward trajectory and proving that this team has something more than what we saw in the last 6 months. I think it would be a big achievement for Astralis. I think what we see now from players is on par more or less with what we expect from them, and of course the individuals, sometimes they're not going to be on point as another day, right? But yeah, I think that's the key point there.
And players will eternally have the chip on the shoulder that for 6 months in the online Counter-Strike, no one could play them. Absolutely no one. They would at the time destroy Na'Vi. Whoever was facing them would be perfect in the way they approach Counter-Strike. All the individuals would step up. So now you're coming to LAN, and the first misstep you take, people are ready, they're waiting for you, and that's Counter-Strike
They
as
can't
well.
win. Like, if they don't win the major, it's like they can never get that chip off their shoulder. It's kind of a sad situation, but I do like that you are saying, no, well, actually, maybe we should look at it as Astralis finally finding the solution. Here, we'll see what happens indeed. Okay, well, final prediction. You changed already, and you said from the beginning that...
When did
no,
I
you
change?
didn't. You didn't. He did, I think. But it was players is going to win. Players is going to win 2-0 after Ancient. What is it now, Prof?
I'm still leaning towards players. I believe in the players. Players always win because there's 10 players on the server, and some of them have to take the
that
W.
joke. Okay.
Sounds like a Swiss opinion right there. Everyone wins, just the players. I'll stick with players too. I hate to change my opinion because it's a dangerous precedent.
Yes, indeed, it is a dangerous precedent, and we've learned our lesson. Just take the opposite of their opinion, and you'll be right at home. Just kidding. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, it is a highly competitive game on Inferno. We'll be back right after this.
I'm Maui Snake here at the PGL RMR. I'm joined by Blame F and Config from Astralis. And today we're going to see how well these guys know each other as teammates. You guys have been with each other for quite some time now. You even said that you want to play with him for the rest of your career. So I think this is probably a good time to learn if you know a thing or two about him.
Okay.
All right, yeah?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, okay. What's Blame F's max bench press?
240.
Oh my God!
Let's say that. Let's say that.
Kilogram. That's impossible.
That's impossible. That would be nice.
Right? Surely not. It's impossible for Blame F.
It's 190, but I'll take 240. That would be insane.
Next question. All right. Is Blame F a city or a country person?
Well, he's moving to the city now, but I think that he prefers the country. To be honest, he likes it when there's like green areas and stuff like that. I think that he enjoys that a lot.
Okay.
I think that's pretty accurate. I need some green stuff around me. I cannot live like completely in the city. There can be like people around me and stuff, of course, where I live, but not too many. Not like in the middle of Copenhagen or something. So a little bit out there.
Would he rather read Reddit comments or Twitch chat?
Twitch chat.
Probably, yeah. I think honestly pretty fun to read Twitch chat sometimes. I like the memes, like a lot of meme stuff. I think it's pretty funny, honestly.
If Blame F had to choose a spirit animal, what would he choose?
Gorilla.
I mean, I haven't thought much about this question before, but I'll take a gorilla to be nice to Khaled.
Very nice, very nice. Good answer, good answer. Does he prefer deathmatching, retake servers, or executes?
Deathmatching for sure. I don't think that he plays a lot of retake.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true. I only play deathmatch. I don't really play all the other stuff, but I'll play a lot of deathmatch, so that is correct.
All right, Blame F, I'm going to throw some questions then about Config to you. First off, how many days a week does Config go to the gym?
Probably like, I would say 4 or 5.
Okay, what's it?
I think it's like, yeah, between I think like 4 is a good amount, yeah. So he gets a point on that one for sure.
All right. Does he watch anime?
No.
Ding ding, correct. I'll never watch it. Sorry to all the anime fans, but it's not my thing. I don't enjoy it, I think.
What is his favorite spot to play on any map? Could be T side or CT side.
Mirage, short. Like, I think Khaled's maybe not the best, but like one of the best players of short of all time, just because he's like play B, he can play ladder, he can push mid, he can do so much stuff in that position. I think he's one of the guys that has the most impact in a position that some people don't find a lot of impact in.
I would have picked the same spot.
Yeah, me too, honestly. Not in this team, but in previous teams.
Is on like a half buy, 2K, what is he buying?
No, just overall no nades. He will buy Deagle armor, he will maybe buy AK armor, he will maybe buy Deagle, but he will not buy any nades.
For sure. 100%.
He will sneak an armor in. If Glaive says like buy to like 2400, he will be bought to 1400. Sorry boss. Sorry. The next round he'll just have AK armor smoke only or something like that. So that's good.
Okay. Does he prefer beer, wine, or liquors?
A little bit of everything, but he definitely enjoys a beer occasionally.
Correct. You get another point there, boss.
Awesome. I think that's it. All right. Well, I think you went flawless on that. So congratulations, Blame F. You win. It's not like it's much of a contest, but yeah, good job, guys. There we go. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for playing. That's been another edition of Getting to Know Your Teammates at the PGL RMR. Thanks.
To succeed in this game, you need to invest in yourself. Be daring. Innovate. Calculate. Never hesitate. Follow your instincts. Don't follow the crowd. Back yourself. Bank your wealth. Analyze, strategize, and galvanize. Now is the time. Take your shot.
Let's go. Battle is on. Burst RMR views with a double bonus. Get insurance for single and combo bets, both up to 20 euros. Fire up with GGBet. GGBet, this is real.
all the greatest games of CS end on a third map Inferno, and that's what we've got in store for you here, Davey.
Can't even disagree, honestly. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't really want to.
Be silly, wouldn't it?
It would be, because how many great games of Counter-Strike had we had? Third map Inferno, overtimes, even at this event alone, or EU RMR, same thing, man. So absolutely, third map Inferno, it's a Counter-Strike classic.
It is. It's a staple of the game. See what I did there? Like a staple gun. Bam, straight in. And it's going to hold us together and hopefully hold your attention through what should be a very exciting end to this lengthy best of three. Astralis taking on players. One of these two teams will qualify to the major off the back of this game of Inferno.
And some very weird upsets in the first two maps as well. Astralis picking Ancient. We're like, okay, Astralis should win Ancient, no problem. Player's not that great on it. Astralis, one of the best at it. So they're going to win Ancient. They actually drop it. So we're like, oh, okay, well, then now this is just going to be the 2-0. Players is much better than Astralis on Dust 2. They haven't won the map in 3 months minimum. And then Astralis wins Dust 2. And you're like, okay, what is going on in this series? We can't expect anything anymore. We genuinely have no clue what's going to happen on this third map. Either one of these teams can win. It is, in my brain, this is a complete coin flip. Whoever shows up, whoever has the individuals popping off with the big performances, that's who's going to take this game.
Yeah, all the facts, all the, speculation is out the window. At this point, this is a raw best of one between Astralis and players to see who is going to the PGL Major in Antwerp. It all happens here, and Astralis will start off on the CT side.
They will, and what is the buy going to be like? Okay, so no kit. Zip goes for the smoke flash nade. No kit for the CTs. 3 over towards B, and there is going to be the face from Glaive. He's playing close middle, and there it is. Oh, but they're running straight at him. They're going straight up mid. It's Farleek and Glaive. They have the crossfire. Can they make anything happen?
Farleek going to be taken down. Glaive in the back line, peeks out and only gets one. Inters. Hot to drop here. Picks up 2 frags on a Glock, and it's going to get a bomb planted as well. Blame F's in the back, and he spots the head of Nafany, and does leave them in a 3 versus 3 now.
Ooh, and Axile's holding for Config. He walks up. There's no way he clears it. Config, he's too good. Lands the USP headshot. Entry flash going out into the site. That's going to blind Hobbit and Pit, but they don't scale off the back of it. Smoke nade dropped on top of Hobbit to cause problems. Enters in the site. He's got 2 already. Can he get more? The third is there. And Hobbit, he knows there's a man above him, and he lands the headshot. Config drops. They don't have a kit. Blame F is looking for him, but Hobbit is playing around in the smoke and playing it to absolute perfection. Blame F not going to be able to get the kill and the defuse. That is it. The round is done. Hobbit clutches it out with 2.
Hobbit on the Glock burst, shutting things down as he taps his way through the last man and secures the pistol round for players on a T side of Inferno here. By coming straight off the back of it as well. AK's out, SMG for Axile, and Inters. Nothing intermediate about his play on the pistol. 3 frags, all of them better than the last.
And he was struggling in the first 2 maps. He's been bottom fragging the server this entire series. Across the 2 maps, I don't think he's even got up above 20 kills total across 2 maps. And now he starts off this game with 3 kills on the pistol. And that can be the difference between you winning or losing this game. If your player that's been underperforming comes up with a massive performance in the third map, that could be what qualifies you for the major.
It's exactly what you need to start things off right. Blame F, he's jiggle peeking, and he's seen a bit of the head. Does have the smoke primed, drops it, and they reply back with one of their own. They're walking off from the top of Banana though, and they do still have a ton of time into this round. 1 minute and 10 seconds. They've got utility, and they don't need to overcommit. Blame F. Wow, through the smoke. Hefty tag on Nafany.
One thing they don't have is flashes. And that makes it almost impossible to go into B. The only way you can really go into B without flashes is if you have the full Molotov execute, which they don't. They only have the 1 Molotov on Axile. So this has forced them into A. Now, when you have low utility like this and you don't have flashes, generally you want to target long because you can smoke off library, you can smoke off arch and take the long-range fights with the rifles, and you don't need flashes to go up. That's exactly what they're doing, and they're going to also have the lurk-up pulse. This should just be the 3-1-1. You'll have 1 going up short, and then these 3 players going up long.
Double smoke so they can wrap in through the back, looking for the heads. The Eagles trying to headhunt an opportunity to open the round back up for Astralis, but it's 2 players downed. The man on the site's gonna fall. Blame F gets 1 bite in before he buckles, and it's all down to Zip in a 1v4. A round that's completely gone. If he found an exit, he'd count his blessings. But this seems like it should just be an easy pickup for players as they take a 2-0 lead.
And that is a perfect example of players recognizing their win condition. Have to give credit to Nafany for that call, because that's exactly what they needed to do. Without the flashes, you can't go into B. Without the utility, going up short, very difficult. Again, another spot where you do need flashes, because there is the crossfire from pit and sight. If you're not able to isolate, that's going to be a huge headache for you. So they go up long. It's their one spot where they have the best win condition. And again, has to be pointed out, Inter's winning that fight with Config and Halls. If he drops, that's a gun down, an AK down, of all things, that Config would have been able to recover. So if he doesn't find that kill, that round completely falls apart because there's no one inside of Halls to trade him, and then Config is going to be inside Halls, long range, fighting towards long with an AK.
So a good start on a T side here. Players getting everything they want so far. And for Astralis, there is no money to reinvest. You can just have the weapons you carried over in the 5-7 and the Deagle. Early fight towards the top of Banana, and a Molotov's going to come in. If they wanted to, you could try and set up here for a bit of a bait play. Send 1 player down, hope the player's hard committing to the site, and then all peek together off the contact. And Nafany, he's clearing it with a Mat 10, so money to be made here, Davey.
Yeah, he's just going to go in and scout out the stack. That's the purpose of sending the Mac 10 in. Now he knows there's at least 2 more in B. That should be the call that they're stacking it. And they shouldn't... Oh, he spotted him. He's seen the gun barrel, right? Yeah, he must have. He's saying things. He still has his crosshair here. So he knows there's one in window. Okay, this is actually interesting, though. Never mind, it's not at all. They're going back to B. I was going to say, because Glaive has this control, they wouldn't expect them to be stacked up towards A, and Astralis was running back over to the A site regardless, and I was like, oh, they are actually going to be stacked here. They might run into it, blah, blah, but then, of course, they just ran back over to B, so...
Okay, this gets a little bit awkward. The attention goes off a balcony. God, Shiro, please kill him.
Please just shoot him.
Yeah, what's going on
just
here?
1 bullet, please.
Ooh, he gets dinked. Yikes.
Thank you so much, though. I needed that emotionally.
No, yeah, that was terrifying.
I couldn't handle it.
That was a bit worrying.
It was stressing me out. I was about to have a panic attack.
Please just kill him.
Please, please.
What are you doing?
There's just a single bullet.
What are you doing?
Just a morsel of a bullet, please.
Yeah, just a small sliver of damage. It's like Oliver Twist. Please. Can I have some more? No, says Hobbit. As he smacks Blame F in the face.
No money for you.
Yeah, throws the bowl of soup straight at him. Or was it porridge?
It was porridge, I think.
Was it porridge?
Dude, who cares?
I mean, yeah,
Same
well,
thing.
Oliver Twist fanatics worldwide, Davey. That's who cares. Oliver Twist fanbase.co.uk are going to be livid. So I hope you're happy.
Obviously, other Oliver Twist fan groups are available.
I'd hope so.
It reminds me of that Jackass skit. Remember when they had the dude walk into the room carrying all the soup?
Yeah.
And they had the giant hand.
The hand that just, yeah.
just clotheslined it.
Yikes.
Oh, that's classic.
That would be painful. Blame F being a giant hand here as he comes swinging out, forms a fist, and punches Axile down. There's a reply back from Hobbit, though, onto Zip. That's his 2nd kill of the round. And they're going to wide swing on the close smoke. Nafany was ready with a Galil. So nothing there for Astralis. And this is another round going heavy-handedly to players. Glaive just walks out and takes the fight. He will not win against Inters.
And Inters is 5-1 now. I think he's already close to getting his total kills from the last map.
Yeah.
Right now. I think he got 8 to finish off that last one. So he's already up to 5, and he's winning crucial gunfights as well. If he can take down the Op of Farley here, oh, look at him go.
Wow.
He is on one now. He has woken up. He was disappointed with his performance in the first 2, and he's like, you know what, guys? Thanks for getting us to map 3. I got this now.
He's come online. He's hitting his shots. And he's giving players that extra edge they needed. Hobbit as well did a great job of stopping any potential anomalies occurring towards the top of Banana. Lovely tap at the end here, though. Beautiful bombardment with the bullets. And Astralis, again, just forcing up around the pistols they're going to bring out here. Little bit of utility there. Ooh, They do go running down Banana, and Config gets potentially 2 kills from this. Oh, Blame F. He lands the deagle shot onto Axile, and they can grab both of those guns.
Flashes were perfect. That's an AK recovered. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get Axiles. I think it's on the other side of the smoke. But again, more nade damage now onto Shiro. So Astralis on their force buy. Starting it off well. Shiro does get tagged down to 7, but Config gets the information, and honestly, this is fine. Blame F. He's still here. He's been able to recover the AK. He still has control of Banana, and Shiro's now down to 7 HP. No one saw a thing, Hobbit. Don't worry. Oh, more nade damage as Hobbit gets chunked down to 56. Enters. He's been the man of this game so far. He still has full HP, has the utility. He is going to be attempted to get boosted up here as Hobbit is going up onto the railing, jumps up onto porch. Molotov is good. Forces the man off along. There's 3 CTs here. Hobbit hasn't been able to find anything, and they want to walk back to B, but the re-clear towards top mid. No, Hobbit gets 1. He's not able to be traded. He hasn't been found. Oh, and Astralis, they give up the man advantage.
They give up the control of brackets. And players straight back at it here in the 5th round. Taking the push round on Arch. Starting to slip up on quad as well. Nadun to pit. Farlig with the info. Will call for the rotate back from his teammates. Hobbit, he's got to clear out. He's looking towards site first. They need to find Farlig because they can't get the bomb down. He's planting off to the 3-second mark. It's not going to happen.
What? What happened? Enters. He didn't get into the site. He didn't plant the bomb. Why?
I don't know.
Well, at least none of them die.
Yeah.
So they did still get the kills on. I'm really looking for a silver lining.
It's a stretch, but yeah.
They kept all their guns up. They didn't die after time. But what?
It's so weird. So weird. The one player in the pit, they took so long to clear out the site. He just doesn't plant. He plants at the 3-second mark.
They didn't even. But the guy in pit, he wasn't even contesting.
No, yeah, he was just waiting.
Turtling. Yeah, he was just hiding inside of Mini, waiting for the plant. And he's like, I guess we win. Great. So now they are going fast up middle. They have found the Opera Farlig. He's not able to land the shot, but Glaive is. It's a headshot onto the in-game leader. And he makes his way into the pit. And there's the fast long play. Glaive gets traded. It's a 4v4, and they're going into the A site. Config has to react with the aggression towards short. He finds Hobbit, and Farlig jumps up on the box, and he gets the second. The flick over. Shiro is out on the balcony, and he's got 2-1-Ds. It's a 1v2, and Zip is going to swing in and not allow him to reposition. Don't give him the chance to bring his op out. Whew, and Astralis pick up their second, but another close one.
Okay. This is not a normal game of Inferno.
No.
Already, the crazy plays, the hefty hits, everything's happening. Farlig with a full frontal assault on the AWP. Shiro. Despicable double dig. And the scoreline does go 4-2. You can't be killing chickens. Come on.
This is getting ridiculous.
What are you doing?
We've been over this.
Who is he? Colonel Sanders?
No.
I didn't think so.
He's not even cooking them.
No.
It's just murder.
Ooh. Herbs and spices coming in towards Banana as Nafany drops down to just 45 HP. They do go for the counter boost, and they're going to look towards the top, see if there is any aggression. Meanwhile, over at A, there's a bit of a noise complaint in the apartments as we see bullets being fired off through the wall. So a lot of early damage on Banana, and the CTs have just backed off. Ooh. Players re-aggressing towards the top. That smoke might toy with them.
Yeah, it's not great for either team. That's one of those ones where everyone's looking at it like,
what is this?
This sucks. Like for the CTs, you're like, damn, we wasted a smoke on that. And for the Ts, you're like, wait, what's that? Why is that there? This is odd.
This is suspicious.
Is there a player sitting in it and they're about to pop flash him? Like, what's going on? Instead, pressure being applied towards middle, and now the B hit's coming.
Flash in, they go for the push. Ooh, there's the frag from Blame F in the back, as he will be able to hit that kill onto Nafani. Ooh, all the frags going away to CTs as well. Axel, the only one to actually get one back in favor of his team, but he doubles down, gets the second, and he's got the bomb to work with. Going to plant just in front of first oranges, but Farlig, he's on a fast rotate, coming towards CT. He re-smokes it. This isn't a great angle to be left in, though. He's playing close. They're going to be walking up. He finds the adjustment shot onto Config, kills him, down to the 1v2. Oh, big dink onto Glaive, leaves him on 38 HP. But Astralis stay alive and get the round.
Axile, I really thought he was going to pull off that ace clutch, man. I really did. When he peeked out and it was just the MP9 of Glaive to contest him, if he lands that headshot, he knows exactly where Farlig is. And you could tell in his brain, he was already getting ready for the next fight, because as he was swinging out to fight Glaive, he was backing up towards the coffins so that Farlig couldn't peek out and trade him instantly. So he was ready for the next fight. If he just landed that shot, he could have potentially picked up that ace, and that would have been ridiculous. And it would have just been fitting for what's been going on in this game so far.
All the show-stopping plays on the third map, Inferno. It's where they normally tend to turn up. The banana battle really heating up here, though. All of the potassium is on fire. And Astralis trying to punish. They push down towards the bottom.
Ooh, and usually we've seen players contesting this, but this time they're all just grouped up at the ramp. They want to go for the flash retake. There was a moment there where I thought they were going to go through the smoke and catch them as they were walking down. They decide not to do it. They want to wait it out. Just let Astralis burn their utility before they decide to go through. Blame F is going to stay close, though. Flash towards the ramp is just going to be a little annoying. Just show some presence. They're like, hey, we are still here. And the flash retake is going to be on the way. Molotov from Axile is actually going to clear out Blame F. Oh, he's so mad right now at Config. It's like, why? Why didn't you smoke me? Why did you smoke the bottom? As Blame F drops, and it's Zip here. He's by himself, not Config. My apologies, it is Zip. And he just let him down there. Glaive with the swing. That's two back.
Gets the first two frags. He wants even more. Inters, though, on a heater this time around. 8-3. Connects the bullet. And Farlig, he's ready for the cross. Scoped in. 25 seconds left. Push will come to shove. They swing out together. The back line from Zip. But it all goes down to the 1v1. Shiro. He's got the bomb. He'll get the plant. And it's up to Config to deny this.
And he has the M4. He has the kit. Shiro's now tucked himself away at New Box. Might have just shown himself. No. Config's walking up, and the thing is right now for Config is Shiro could be anywhere. He could be backhaul, banana, back sight, and Config has to tap the bomb and try to get that info as soon as possible. Flash over above, he's looking now, the tap is out, the shot is there, and Config lands it. Shiro can't hit the shot, he peeks out early, he tries to take him while Config is looking towards other spots. Instead, he walks out, Config was aware of it, he finds the kill and finds another round. Astralis, time and time again, are just barely pulling these rounds out.
4-4. Players take the first 4 rounds of the game. Astralis get 4 back now on the spin. But like you were saying, none of these rounds have been incredibly decisive. It's all been down to the wire. What a scary feat here we've been witnessing.
Just a reminder, this is the game to qualify for the major in Antwerp. One of these two teams will be there. This is map 3. Scan the QR code on the screen right now to get your tickets. It's either going to be Astralis or players. One of them, by the end of this map, will know that they have been the first team from EU RMRB to qualify. And what a game so far. And because the players keeps getting these bomb plants and they keep getting so many kills that they keep forcing into it. And it's a good call. If they win one round, Astralis is completely reset. They have no money left in the bank. And Glaive again is relegated to the MP9.
Flash up middle. Smoke going to go round towards Arch side. A little bit of counter utility so that Farlig can peek out from Boiler. walk in towards apartments as well. And there's a trader damage, so the CTs, they reposition around it. The AWP's going to be scoped down towards bottom mid. Farlig misses the shot, though. Whoa, that got dangerous.
So close. He was crossing to try to get over towards long right when the player popped up inside of the little pit. Was able to find the damage, but the B play's coming, and again, it's just going to be the pop-in.
The players, Killer Bees, are on the swarm into the B site. But can Astralis hold the hive as the push is here? Zip will fall. That's the opening frag on the SMG. Blame F, he gets two. Hungry for a third as well. Wide swings round, but the nade of Glaive will blow Axile to bits. 30 seconds on the clock. Inter's rotating round to support Hobbit. He's looking out, facing towards CT. Farlig's there with the AWP. The smoke will come in. He hits the shot onto Hobbit, and it's all down to Inters in a 1v3. They run through the smoke. He hits the headshot. 16 seconds. He's got to plant the bomb. They're going to push from either side, try and split him down the middle, but they don't actually hard commit to this. He gets the bomb off. He walks into the smoke with his back turn. He's got the timing off. This could be insane for Inters. All he's got to do is play it to perfection. Sprays against Config into the 1v1. Farlig jumps on the bomb, tries to bait him to re-peek. He's going into the back. He's going to line up the shot and shut it down. Inters, the madman for players, clutches it out. That is disgusting.
1 versus 3. The initial flash through the smoke is actually perfect. He's full blind, but he hears the sound cues right before the play is made. So he sprays while blind, gets the kill, and then in the 1 versus 2 finds the perfect timing to phase into that smoke. Config comes through at the exact moment Inters walks into it, and he pulls off the 1v2, plays it to absolute perfection. Now, the only thing I'm curious about is Farlig had pushed up through backhaul as he was planting the bomb. I feel like Farlig should have been able to see if he crossed the backside or not. Clearly didn't, right? He obviously wasn't holding that line. In my head, I was like, as soon as he's not near default, Farlig, who was in backhaul, if he was just holding the back sight cross as the bomb was getting planted, then there's no way he could be back sight. But I guess Farlig didn't peek out that far. And it's a crucial mistake. It's a crucial mistake, and Inters takes full advantage of it. And now they've completely reset Astralis off of the back of so many close rounds in a row. Shiro recovers the op, but both teams so low on money because it's been so back and forth. We see Galil's, Mac 10s, of course the op on Shiro, but still no money in the bank for either team. This game is on a knife's edge.
Just complete chaos. Ooh. So close to having an opening frag on the AWP Shiro as well towards Banana. A full stop would have been inflicted there. Axile, he tries to tuck away with a Mac 10 as the flash comes around, but there's no kill. Just an awkward amount of commotion. Finally, the frag onto Blame F as he'll buckle under the pressure. And the CTs now in a 4 versus 5. Again, re-aggressing with Config close towards the wall. Turns the flash. Axile, he'll hold with the SMG whilst his teammates maraud their way towards middle.
Oh, and Config, he can land these, gets Gush through the wall, does still eventually get the kill. Down to just 2 HP as it is the 3-man stack over here towards A, and you can see players, they want to go back to B. They know Config's lit. They know they probably left him by himself, and the re-clear towards middle is perfect from Astralis. That should be the rotations now going back over to B. Here they all come. 4v4 on the B site.
Someone's in for a big fright. But who's going to be hitting their shots? Hobbit starts it off. Nafany as well with a snapshot back onto Config. Farlig, he'll fall, and it's all on Zipnix. Running into ruins, but the round is ruined for Astralis. No chance of a success here. And this will be the 6th picked up for players. On a tear on a T side. Hobbit is 12 for 4. Inters 11 for 4. Wow.
And that's the difference. Inter showing up has been the difference. Remember, did not have a great time in the first 2 maps. Second map, I think he only had 8 kills. First map wasn't much more than that, if it was more than that. And so for him to show up now, not only getting opening kills, he's winning clutches. He's doing so much, and it is so massive for this team to have him performing this well. Cannot be understated.
And this is incredible. The third map, Inferno, both of these teams traded their map picks here. And if you're just joining us, you've done well to tune in now. The third and final map between two teams battling it out for a spot at the PGL Major in Antwerp. And players, they've got 2 rounds of edge to work with on the T side. Astralis, they're going for a crunch out middle. They're going to run it down. There's an AWP waiting for them. Shiro, his crosshairs flicked off. They're getting close towards the bottom of mid. They dive around the corner. The AK unloads. Blame F with 1. And the T's shut down the rest.
Yeah, Blame F got the only kill of the round, and the money there for Astralis now, it's still not great. Farleague will be able to glass cannon, but this buy isn't going to be ideal. I just checked, Jack. In the first 2 maps, Inter's got a total of 14 kills.
Wow.
In 2 maps with 33.9 ADR. So far, in this game, Inter's has 11 kills and 104 ADR. So that is a massive swing in performance. And you can see, based on the scoreboard, how much it's helped the players' team.
Yeah, complete change. He started off with a triple on the pistol round, and you could see from there it was a different story from what we had been seeing in the series so far. This is a different round though. Round 12 to be precise. Aggression towards Banana again early on from Astralis. A lot of damage done onto Glaive. He's brought down to 66 HP, and they're grouping up with a 4-man setup on the A side.
Yep, they're leaving Zip here. Nade is going to be huge. Tons of damage done. That's Axile and Shiro each taking a big chunk. And he's got more nades. But them retaking bottom B is going to mean the rotation comes in. Glaive's going to be boosted. I'm assuming he's going to drop this nade down to Zip so he can use it. Maybe a little bit. There you go. Thanks, bud. You're making me look smart there.
Yeah, give him that HE. We'll see how much impact the high explosive will have. 40 seconds on the clock. Bomb towards Banana. T's revving their engines, ready for this one. Hobbit, he's causing some commotion as well as he slips in towards Arch side. Zipnix, he's still ready for the hold. Hard spam on the Famous. Hits the head. The HE could be lethal as well.
HE doing a bit of damage. Hobbit's actually here in CT. They know he's here, though. He's in the library. If he wins out on this fight, he actually doesn't even need to win the fight. He's just delaying the rotations, but it's not going to matter. The players inside of the B side are able to find the kills. Inters, that was a task too tall for that man. We've seen him pull off a clutch in this game so far, but the 1v5 is just a little bit too much for him. And Hobbit inside of Library was doing a great job delaying Farleague's rotation. It gave his teammates the chance to have the 3 versus 2 on the players inside of B, but it just doesn't matter. Astralis, Zipnix, and Glaive, they hold it down. They just don't let them into the B site at all. And Astralis answer back. They pick up their 5th. And now we're back on this. We're back in this situation where the money for the T's just isn't there. Nade to deny information. They're walking down. Is Shiro going to be able to hit the shot? The flash is good.
Headshot onto Blame F. Oh, Axile. The dexterous man that he is. Dancing back and forth towards T steps. Slaughters 2 of them. And Astralis. This round is quickly getting away from them. HE goes over the top of Config's head, dents his hair. But can he reply back? Look at the moves he's making. Sees them, lines up the first 2. Oh, he wanted to peek out for the 3rd as well, but Hobbit will be able to hit the head. And it goes down to the 2-on-2. Farleague's got bomb control.
Bombs down in second mid. There's lots of time left. A whole minute for players. They drop a smoke on the bomb. He is going to grab it. He should be able to make it up middle. Tag, but not the frag. Bomb is going to go down inside of the A site. They don't know where the second player is. They know that Farleague's bottom mid. Zip is actually inside of Halls now and enters. He's looking for it. The 2-star players so far this map for players. That is 14 and 5 on both of them as Inters and Hobbit in the 2 versus 1. Can Farleague do something amazing?
Farleague walking up. It'll be a really rough fight for him, but he hits the first. It's all down to the 1v1. Hobbit tucked in towards the pit, and he will punish. Peeks out and stops it. Then and there. Farleague. Oh, a tight round to be left in. It looked like maybe there was a possibility, but Astralis will not be stealing that one. The clutches are falling in favor of players. An awful lot here on Inferno.
And Config did a great job to bring that one back. He got the 2 kills from the window aggression, brought it to the 3 versus 3, but when he swung out into the halls, there was 2 of them waiting for him. They land the shots. Config, he couldn't find the 3rd, and now again, Astralis' money that's broken. They've sent 4 over to B, and Shiro, he's aggressive. They don't know he's here. He might get one for free, but he backs up. Molotov was burning him.
HE thrown towards the top. T's backing off. Mid control potentially about to be fought for as well. Glave's here. He was playing close towards the smoke, but he's gone back towards the bomb site now. Links up with his teammate in Config and Farlig. So a 3-player setup towards quad, whilst Arch gets smoked off. And Astralis, they're aggressing down banana as well.
Molotov should do a decent job in isolating them, but Hobbit loses out against Farlig, and now they know. Config's boosted, he's swinging, he finds a second, and Shiro with the miss allows Config to get away, and Inters is trying to lurk out of the halls, but he's been smoked, and Config is holding for him.
Config's only on 15 HP. A well-placed bullet from either Inters or Shiro could bring them into a potential round, but no, Config on the fast face. Hits Inters. They're clearing out on Shiro's angle as well. And it'll be the quick trade between both sides. Glaive knew where he was, stops it, and another round goes in favor of the CTs.
The force buy for Astralis, winning it out. This game has been so back and forth in this first half. You have to say, it is players who are coming out on top. They're the ones on the T side. They are the ones who are now eventually going to get to switch over to that second half, go on the CT side. They've already won the half. The buy's not great for him here. It's not ideal. Only the 1 rifle on Nafany. What are they going to do with these pistols? They're already almost out of utility. It's just the 2 smokes and 2 flashes.
First flash going to be thrown. And it seems like they want to try and just hit some domes with these Tech 9. Sprinting round onto Arch side for Config. He kills 2. Axel flicks back with a Tech. And will deliver the bullet straight to the cranium. Hobbit slowed down.
Whoa.
Balcony bombardment. Axel trades onto Farlig. And it's down to a 2v3. Glaive in the pit. Posted up behind the barrel. Ready to burst them. About a minute left on the clock here. Galil in the hands of Axar. He's already had 2 frags. He wants a 3rd. Wild spray comes out. A hailstorm of bullets. Barely missing one to Zipnix. Hobbit can't do much there. Drops. And so does the round. Astralis with 7.
As close of a half as we can get. 8-7. It does favor players, though, because now, like I was saying, they're going over to the CT side. The more favored side. And this game has been so close, and the clutches making such a huge difference. Players have just won out on so many of them. Multiple times throughout that half, they were able to win it. And now, what's Astralis going to be able to do on the T side? They're going to have to seriously show some balls here. Going up against this player's team because they are on the back foot. 2 nade sets being purchased. The smoke double flash for Farlig and Glaive. And where is the play going to be? Where are all these nades going to be used?
Flash up middle. Glaive will set up with a utility. His teammates will go sprinting up through the apartments and look to evict the CT side control off the A site. 4 players, 2 of them waiting back towards Graveyard and Pit. There's the fake off the back of the flash, and Axel hits the head of Zipnix. Shiro's down to just 9 HP, but he's still alive pivotally. Oh, Axel as well. That's a follow-up kill onto Farlig. And Hobbit, he's got the rotation. Sees Config jumping in the air, but he won't be jumping for joy because he's dead. And it's all down onto Glaive towards the B site. He'll run round a corner, and Inters will clock him in the jaw.
Astralis trying to go for the halls pop there, but they just seemed so disconnected on where they wanted to go. Some players jumping out into lane, they were blind. Someone staying up inside of halls. There's people running into CT spawn. It seemed like just to create chaos and hope for the best sort of situation. At least that's what it devolved into.
Yeah, see if you can find something and then run off the back of it. But nothing really went their way at all.
So that is players picking up the second half pistol, starting off this CT side just about as well as they could have hoped for. Nobody even died. Not a single kill went the way of Astralis. Not even one.
And this is the third and final map. Inferno is the decider between these two teams. One ticket up for grabs for the PGL Major in Antwerp. And at the minute, players, they're eyeing it up. They want to get their hands on it. They want it to be theirs. And they've got a few rounds of lead over Astralis to make that dream become a reality.
They go for the full eco. It's just the Glocks. They're running around. They're jumping. They're vibing. Get the movement prac in, you know. Jump rail to rail. Don't kill the chicken. You leave that chicken. He's living his best life.
It's a bad omen if you do.
Yeah.
The other benefit is as well of a Glock round like this, at least, you do have time to talk.
Yeah.
Which can actually be worth its weight in gold. Sometimes you tunnel vision, get too sucked into the game. And can't make the adjustments that you need. If you can, try not to get killed by the MP9 as well and give a boatload of money over to players. Obviously not really your choice, but avoid it if possible.
And there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Hard to avoid.
Uh-oh.
At least that one was unintentional.
So sad, though. He was just going out for a walk. And then he gets blown up by a grenade. Shiro hits the first head onto Farlig, gets away as well and stays alive. So all of the CTs keep their weapons into that round. Very clean.
And actually not a single kill by one of the MP9s.
Great play by Astralis.
Yeah, perfect round by Astralis. Intentionally avoiding every single one of the MP9s.
Genius. The MP9 radar there working to perfection.
This is Glaive, the tactical mastermind, coming out yet again. And so it is going to be the full buy coming in now. The thing is, if you go for that full save on the second round, third round buy means you either have to sacrifice flashes or the Molotov on the T side. You see a couple people sacrifice the flashes, a couple sacrifice the mollies. And so it's not full utility. It's not perfect, but 3 MP9s for the side of players. This is a bonus round for them. If they win this one, if they bring some of those AKs over into the next, that is worst case scenario for Astralis.
They flash out onto quad, so config can peek. Response back from players as well. Glaive, paranoid, spams away. So they have a little bit of a read on where 2 of the T's are. They are starting to make their move up towards top banana. Hobbit has a Molotov. He can drop this if push comes to shove. Bomb's just down towards T steps as well, so no commit yet from Astralis.
There it is. Counter util being dropped. For a second, I thought that might be some kind of one-way for Nafny. The way he threw it, it looked like it was like a lineup, and I was like, oh, what's he going to do? It's nothing. It's just a smoke.
Yeah.
I really like to overthink these little things.
There's the beauty of CS, even the smallest detail can have a far bigger impact on the overall game. Could be some impact here as well. Nafny with the MP9. As he swings out, takes one man down before config trades, and they're pushing up. The pit punisher of Axile delivering bullets, but not being able to set him up on a date with a coroner just yet. The Molotov will make him move away. 52 HP, playing on the off angle. 1 bullet from Farlig's all they need, but they need to get the bomb down. Time is tight, and they do get the plant off into the 3v2 now.
The flick from config is just absolutely insane. He is so good in those moments. The flick down, if that double kill comes out, there's a chance for players into the round. If config drops and the player in pit can just survive, they had the opportunity, they had the chance. Also, just so sad for Axile inside of the pit that he's not able to find a kill on those players crossing to site. So much damage, and now they are just saving, and now that is going to be Inters with the MP9 trying to farm some cash, trying to just take the gun away from the T's. This is working perfectly. He's going to drop. Blamef dies. He's going to be able to recover an AK. They take all 5 guns out of their hands. Astralis will take the round, and they'll take that. You do need those. But at the same time, they have just completely broken their economy.
You're still going to be happy you get the big commodity that is the round.
That's huge.
Oh, yeah. That's lovely, man. But like you're saying, I mean, a very, very costly one overall. And the knock-on effect is, look at the buy. 3 MAC-10s, 1 AK, and a Galil. Oh.
Versus the CTs, who off the bonus, 2 M4s, 2 AKs, and an op. This doesn't even feel like you won the round.
No, worlds apart. Ooh. So close on getting the opening pick towards middle there as well. Xyp9x, he's just survived on 9 HP from the early commotion.
And even worse now, if you're Astralis and you do lose this round, your money bonus is worse than it would have been if you had just lost the last one. So these are the economic games that come into play when you're playing Counter-Strike. That's why the game is so beautiful.
And this could be brutal from players. If they're able to pick this round up, they're basically getting 2 for the price of 1. Smoke onto arch side. Flash over the top to quell the push from Astralis. They all peek out together. Axel on top of the balcony wants to be a bit of a bruiser and does not want to leave players looking like losers in this round. He throws out the flash, buys some time. Shiro rotates back around as well. He's inside of the library, but can he read the play from the tees? Knows there's one man there, hits the shot. That's the bullet into the head of Config. Axel on the elevated peak, hits Farlig as well, and it's not looking good for the T side. 1 by 1, all the frags are going to be farmed up. BlameF gets 1 kill, but it's too little too late as players make it to 11.
The crossfire was perfect. Shiro finding that lurk on Config as well. Doesn't jump the gun, doesn't rotate. As soon as he hears the moto smoke, he doesn't just go running over to try to get to the site. He stays posted on the lurk play. He stays watching. He wants to make sure that there's nothing funny happening, and he gets the kill onto Config, and then the crossfire in sight works to perfection. Axile in the pit, doing exactly what he does best, finds the opening as they come up short, and that is going to be players resetting the economy of Astralis. They're going to be on eco, and what can they do about it? Hobbit finds Config. He tried to run up Banana and get the opening with the P250, but Hobbit with the M4 is just a little bit too strong for him.
All of the T's bouncing their way through the apartments. Oh, watch your head, BlameF.
Dangerous.
Yeah, jumped straight into the fan.
That thing was going a little faster. Could just really cut you real deep.
Yeah, decapitation could have occurred there. It looks like, again, this is another round they're basically just using as an existence timeout. Yeah. Just talk it out. You need to. Figure out what exactly you want to adjust when you get your next buy.
Yeah, Glaive's doing a lot of talking, actually. You could just see it. He was being very vocal.
Yeah. Glaive and BlameF having a big back and forth.
Yeah. Like gargantuan back and forth, even. A ganch forth.
Ooh.
Yeah. I know.
So it feels like they've been able to have the discussion they wanted. They'll now commit to just get the round over. They go running up towards the B site. There's a pick into the back as Xyp9x will go down to the AK of Axel. And they just walk in with the Glocks. 1 P250 in amongst the ranks for BlameF. But easy pickings, and players will be happy to take this 12. Ooh. Bit of a dink though, Hobbit. 3 frags, but he does take a bullet to the hat.
I was just thinking, where did Glaive find a USP? Oh, when Config died top of B, I bet Hobbit switched to the P250. Because I saw Glaive running up Banana and he had a USP, and I'm like, how did that?
Where did he get that?
Yeah, like how did that happen? Like that's odd. But yeah, no, I'm sure Hobbit switched to the P250 of Config, so that's why he had the USP. There wasn't a whole lot to think about in that round, so that I really had to. I was like, this is curious.
Kind of sus. Where did you get that USP from, bro?
Yeah, sussy. You can't buy those on T side.
Yeah.
Who does he know? What merchant is he speaking to?
What are you buying?
What are you selling?
USP, please.
You should be able to buy a USP on T side.
Yeah.
Silly that you can't really.
Would be fun.
Just make it the same price as like the P250. Instead of you would see people dropping USPs instead of P250s on
Oh,
T-side.
it would happen, yeah. Just as a preference, even.
Yeah. Well, especially on pistol rounds. Just because it's just more accurate than the P250.
For players, though, preferably, they want to secure themselves the 13th round here in the 21st. It's a 12-8 split in the third map. Players getting dangerously close. Close? Close.
Dangerously close to this next round here.
Oh, yeah, mate. Nice, yeah. And it will be like a big brawl.
Oh, no.
As they go running into the B site. Hobbit just spamming away, but none of the bullets going to land. Shiro hits the close quarter shot on Blame F. What's going on? Farlig! He runs out, kills Inters, tries to get the flick off, but Axar will stop it then and there. And this is looking Larry Davey, 3 on 4. They're in the B site. They've got the bomb towards pool. 40 seconds on the clock as the rotate's coming round. It's a stalemate at the site. And Glaive's just holding. Meanwhile, over at A, Nathany, he's thinking, what's happening here, Glaive? He's going to turn the round back on. Hits the head of Hobbit. And they finally get the bomb down.
And they were just still not sure if the bomb was actually going to be committed to the B site. The stall out from Astralis is perfect. Their smokes faded, and they knew that players was going to have to peek into them and start to clear things out. They know Glaive is in the back of the site. Smoke is going to come out towards Banana. They have one more for the bomb if they need it. That's on Shiro, and you can see he wants to get in front of it. He doesn't want to let that one go. Zip in front of the smoke now, and he's going to look for the face. They have this close angle. Glaive deep and Config close, and the shots go the way of the CTs. Everything does. Shiro with 2. The setup from Glaive and Config I thought might be the round winner, but Shiro with the headshot on the AK. He's known for the op, but he shows here that he can do it with the rifle.
Shiro, the showstopper. Oh, crazy plays into this round. So many small moments of madness, but the retake works. They get it. 13-8. Players so close to picking this game up now. 3 rounds is all they need to win on Inferno and make it to the PGL Major. Astralis, they're just down to the pistols.
Broken the economy yet again. I mean, players are just winning these rounds consecutively. That Molotov landing exactly how Shiro planned it. In the second middle. And what's Astralis going to do with the force? They have quite a bit of utility still. Like Farlig, he's got all of the nades. 5 smokes still up for the T side. That's a big investment on a round like this. They must have some form of plan for them. Use one to take top mid control, potentially try to get into CT spawn. As Shiro's gonna walk up and just find the free pick onto Farlig, and now the T's, the counter nades, push them all the way back, and they're gonna run over to B. Farlig with all of that utility drops.
It's a costly death for Astralis. And this is not going to be an easy feat for them. They're going in towards the B site. They smoke back at CT. There's a boost in play. Glaive spamming out rapid shots on the Tech 9, but all of them just warnings. None of them actually looking to hard commit for a pick. With 38 seconds left, you're not leaving yourself much time for error here on the push into B.
No. No more flashes either, and Shiro's here.
Oh, Shiro! He doesn't need a scope! He's gonna do it just with a raw mouse one. Has some fun into this round and enters in the elevated angle. Shiro really doesn't need the scope. He's taking this too far. Oh!
He's done it again. The no scope from CT on the repeak, and look at him. He is feeling it now. You do not do that as an opera unless you are flowing with confidence. He had a bad game on Dust 2, but he is right back into this one. Opens up the round, and that shot onto Config. It doesn't get much better. And then, of course, the man planting the bomb. Through the smoke, through the coffin, no scope necessary.
God, he's in spawn with a screwdriver. He's taken the scope off his AWP. And he is wielding it like a blunderbuss, just blowing everyone away. God damn, players. They are in cruise control now on Inferno, Davey. They know how close they are to securing that ticket to the major, and it is just a formality to shut this one down. Astralis, realizing their backs are against the walls. They look shook.
14-8. 2 more rounds. If Astralis want to battle this one back, they need a minimum of 7 to get to that 15. And players now, money built up on the CT side. Look at how many rounds in a row. Gun rounds on the T side of Inferno. Astralis is going to have to win to break the economy of players. And Axile, he wants to get aggressive. Look at them. They're pushing right through. This should be one for free towards middle. He spotted him. No, he just creeps right across. Shiro's going to respond, and they've taken top mid control, but they have no idea there's a man behind them, and his name is Axile. He's going to find the bomb, and now, this round is going to be falling apart for Astralis.
Axile.
Does he see the bomb?
Like a mother hen.
He did.
He can nest up on this bomb and wait for the round to hatch. Hatching a plan to assassinate in the rear. They come running straight past him. Farlick has no idea, but Glaive, he'll be able to hit the flick, takes him down and stops it.
That is massive that Glaive gets that trade. I thought for sure that's a guaranteed double for Axile, but look at this too. Shiro, he's aggressive. He finds the kill in top mid, and he heard the player rotating off of window. So there's still 2 CTs in the B site. It's going to be the 3-on-2 execute, and they don't have Molotovs to push them out.
Here comes the push. They want to run in through the smoke. The 2-man setup towards the back of the site. Inter's ready to slump him in the face. And it will be the easy frags falling in favor of Hobbit. Gives his teammate a love tap because they have picked up match point here on the 3rd map in this series.
And what a play. Axile going aggressive. He wasn't able to find the 2nd, but it doesn't actually matter. He gets so much information, and as soon as Glaive spins around to kill him, then he can tell his teammates, hey, there's one more banana, Glaive is going back for the bomb, and there's might be one towards top mid. We're not really sure, so Shiro peeks out knowing that at most there's one top middle. At most. And he finds the kill, gets the information, and that allows him to keep 2 players towards the B site. Pop flash towards top middle, and Hobbit opens it up. The last round of this game, potentially, and the first kill goes the way of players. That's Hobbit at banana as Shiro gets forced off of long. Oh.
Astralis running into the A site. Axile ready for the attack, snipes down Config, there's the follow-up frag, but Glaive busts through the door, waving a 4-4, and Axile ain't breathing no more. Goodbye to Nathany as well, as they keep it clutch, 2 versus 3. Round 24 could still be a potential pickup for Astralis. They've got site control. Glaive, he's tucked into the site with a bomb on his back, but they don't want to commit to the plant yet. He's going to weave his way back around, go for the safer plant. The CTs, they've found their opening. They've got back over. Shiro, he's scared to death. He's scared to look. And Glaive, he's going to leave him shook. Fires off the warning shot. Hard committing for this, but it's getting dangerous, Davey. Runs back. Headshot from Inters. All on Zipnix, but he ain't picking this up. You can't fix that as players get 16 and they're going to the major.
They absolutely are, and look at them. They are the first team EU RMRB players make it all the way to the major. They take down the Legends of Astralis, the 4-time major winners, going down to that 2-1 bracket. But huge congratulations to players. That was a massive performance on the 3rd map of Inferno. After their performance on their map pick of Dust 2, you thought maybe Astralis is going to be able to take this one. It goes to Inferno. It becomes a little bit more of a coin flip, but no, players, they showed up, and crucially as well, Shiro and Inters with massive performances on this map.
Incredibly so. The opening pistol round was the Inters show.
Yes.
He just rocked up to the party, found 3 huge frags, each one better than the last, and did not stop, right? Like you were saying during the game, even just a few rounds in, he had a bigger performance in one map than 2 games combined. It goes to show how much difference he had.
Absolutely, and Shiro as well getting some crucial picks on that CT side. On Dust 2, he was pretty much irrelevant. He was missing shots, he wasn't in the right positions. Overall, it just wasn't a great game from him. Wasn't a great game from anyone on players. Yeah. But as soon as we got to Inferno, we saw Inter stepping up, and you can see that sort of rejuvenated the team. Like, man, look at, he's doing this. We know that he had a poor game, 2 poor games back to back, and now he is stepping up and performing for us, and we have to be able to take this.
Yeah, incredible series though overall. It ends on Inferno, where all the best matchups do. So let's get back over the desk and dissect this one.
All the best matchups in Inferno. If it's a good Inferno, it can be a banger indeed, although it was quite players' favorite in this one. And you guys said it already, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more. Inters, because he caught some flack also from our side, I think rightfully so, for some of the moments in map 1 and 2. Not just kind of putting the frags up, but the impact and the clutches. I mean, that's the